All right, so guys, what I'm doing is I am mapping out different strategies and the strategies that are the most important that will help you be successful. And then we're gonna go into several other lessons. Before I get started, there's already, it's still just ticking off. People keep joining, so this is gonna be a big one. So what I'd like to do before I get started is find out if anybody has a question about any of the topics I've got, wrong hand, right here, so that I can start to answer those before I get going. What I would like to do is I want to hit some topics that I know some of you right now, it's leadership, or it might be the vision for the business or the business planner. Should I be a specialty shop or not? Or what should my overhead be? Should I own or should I rent? Should I have a store manager be off site? Should I do the lead tech former model, have them all on their own? Is flat rate for me or not? Or should it be a salary plus bonus or hourly plus bonus? Should I be a specialty shop? What are my goals? What am I trying to get to? Do I understand how a parts matrix affects my P&L and accounting? Do I even understand how a balance sheet works? Maybe you are into branding. You're trying to figure out marketing and how this all relates. There's so much here. This is all just stuff that just came to me. So I have something I'm going to specifically teach on, but I just felt like I needed to get some of this out of the way and get it opened up. Those that haven't been here before, my name's Aaron. I'm here with ShopFix Academy, and I'm a shop owner. I've got myself 5 stores. So I've got stores that do all the way down to 1.2 million, and stores that are doing 2.5 million. One of my stores is an American Asian shop and a European shop in one building, an old dealership, and that store combined, they're doing about 4 million. But if I were to separate them, then one of them is slightly more than the other. But what I want you to understand and what I want you to see is that the way we have our stores set up, anybody across the country can do it. All the ones that are my clients already that come to hear us all the time, thank you guys for showing up. The ones that don't, or I'm sorry, not don't, but haven't before, we're known for being goofy. We're known for having fun. So be prepared for something that's professionally friendly. Is that a good way to put it, TJ?
That's a good one.
That's a good way to put it. So I got a couple sidekicks with me, TJ and Guy. Where's Guy? Is he in here?
I don't know where Guy is, but
he's probably in the bathroom. That's probably where Guy's at. So you're going to notice that we goof off, we have fun, but let's be real. Everybody's tired, and you got better things to do than being here. But our goal is to try to make an impact, to change your family, to change your children's lives, your spouse's life, girlfriend, boyfriend, parents, whatever. I know there's people here and your parents own the shop. Some of you here, you own the shop and your kids work for you and you're worried about them taking over. Some of you are in a situation where the business has messed your marriage up. Some of you are already crushing it and you're just printing money. You don't know what to do with it. And your mattress is all lumpy and uncomfortable because there's so much stuff under there. That's great. And you want another angle. Hopefully we can give you that. Some of you right now, by the way, the ones that are really crushing it, you should be making more than you're making right now. You should, because you're not digging deep like you used to. You're kind of enjoying things and you're not digging deep. And I want to challenge you tonight and push you to see if maybe there's a little bit more in the tank and get you to think in a little bit different light. There's so many people out there that need your help, need your influence, need your leadership in the marketplace, not just in auto repair. So we're going to answer a few questions. So if y'all can do me a favor on the chat box side, once we've got roughly 1,000 of you, I think we're like 20 less than 1,000 register for this. I think it's like 980. So as I get going, the chat box is going to start flying. I'm known for being a fast talker. I get kind of excited. This whole board behind me is going to be covered in paper. It'll all be spread out. I will teach on a multiple of subjects. It will not just be one. Please bear with me. I promise I'll hit the subject that matters to you. It's just going to be a while. I will try to go nonstop. I might bring Guy and TJ up here and let them talk a couple times just so I can get a drink. But I will try to go nonstop as much as I possibly can and cover a full 2 hours. The last one went 2 hours and 45 minutes. We will have some offerings for you at the end of this webinar and in the middle of the webinar. So if you're like, man, what is this guy? What's he got going on? We've got video courses that you can buy. We've also got other things besides that. But right now we have a video course that we will be pitching to you and letting you hear about. Pitching is such a nasty word. It's like the Sham Wow guy does that, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
He does.
But there's not a better way to put it. So we're just going to call it.
You're better looking than the Sham Wow guy.
I'm thinner, but.
Well, I don't know about thinner, but.
So we're going to have fun. We're going to better beard. We're going to goof off, and we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. That being said, if you don't want to buy anything, that's fine. Just come hang out. Just come watch. Learn lots of free stuff. We want to give away more for free than everybody else is charging for. This is for shop owners, by shop owners. That's the way we look at this. And I'm in it just like you, and you will probably be able to hear that when I talk. You may ask why we're doing it. Way back, probably now pushing 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago, I was stolen from. I had 3 stores. I was making $1 million a year, doing $4.5 million off of 3 locations. And I thought it'd be a great idea to open up a used car lot. I did. That used car lot manager then stole from me. It was very complicated how it happened. I can't get into it now. But the whole mess, the whole debacle ended up costing me over $1 million. Nearly put me out of business and nearly lost everything because of this deal. Went through that whole pressure cooker and came out the other side swinging, and had a guy at a meeting once ask me if I would spend some time with him, connect with him, and teach him, train him, if you will. And I said, I don't have time, kept blowing him off. He kept hassling me, and finally I agreed. And then I decided to videotape it, and then it became a course. Then we tried to sell it to a few people, then all of a sudden it exploded. And now we have blown up all across the country. Never even knew that somebody, like myself, I have an 8th grade education, and never been to high school a day in my life, except for my daughters. Never thought that I could ever put a course together that would have college credits associated with it now. Hope they realize that. I told them I only have an 8th grade, education. I don't know if they believed me, but I'm basically trailer trash. Grew up in single wide trailers, was living in a trailer from 99 to 2006. And I'm proud to say that my employees owned houses before me, and I made those sacrifices. I did what I had to do to build my business. Started in my backyard. Actually started in a 1-car garage, then moved it to a tobacco barn after that, after I got in trouble with the city. And when I moved it to a tobacco barn in the summer of 99, in August, I was working on gravel, and I had plywood under the cars because it had that cheap plastic tiles you'd click together, and they would go on tennis courts and basketball courts and put the jacks on them, and the wheels would break through and the car would start to fall over. So I had to put plywood under the cars, put the jack on top of that, just to jack the car up so I could get a jack stand underneath it. So from 99 to 2006 or 2004, I was in my backyard, and until 6, I was living in that trailer. Then I moved to town in 2004. So everything that I've got now, and we'll probably do 8.5 million, 9 million. My goal's 10. Still haven't hit it out of 5 stores. Is from 2004 until now. So I moved into town in April of 2004. Before that, I was in my backyard. Moved into town doing 30 grand a month. So just so everybody knows, there's a lot more to the story, but I figured I'd do a little intro on me. Hopefully I get to hear about you. Now, all that being said, if you've got a question before I get started, I'd love to hear your question on the side. And I see Steve already said one thing. I'll answer this, and I think you have a few probably. Can anyone model your shop? Yeah, anybody can. And if you watch any of my stuff, you'll see it's totally different. I have friends across the country that have come to my stores, and they've said, you can tell you've never worked for anybody else. Everything in your store is a little off. And we like it that way. And it works, and it makes a lot of money doing it the way we're doing it. And I don't know why other people haven't tried it this way. I don't know that answer, but I know that we're doing it this way. And if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, that's cool too. You may have something figured out that's working for you, and that's fine. Maybe you can just take a few pieces of the puzzle from us. But I'm here to tell you, we got some amazing stuff here. Some amazing stuff. What do you got?
So you might want to tell everybody, if you have a question, go to that little Q&A box down at the bottom and click on it. And put your questions in there. If you just are commenting in the group, you can do that in the little chat. It makes it easier to find the questions and kind of sort through those. Now, you did have a lot of questions. I think people were just like, hey, you're going to talk on this topic, this topic, this topic. Let's try to keep the questions to what Aaron's speaking on at the moment. If we have some extra time, we can go into those other topics.
So let's do this. If you have a question, don't put it in the chat box.
Put it in the Q&A.
Put it in the Q&A box. And where do they see that on their screen?
On the bottom.
On the bottom, in the middle.
So
it says Q and A.
Yeah.
So put it there, and we'll roll with that. Is that good? And then if it's not on the topic that
it's like right
there.
There.
Look at that
Right over
bicep, man.
Yeah.
Whoa. Woo. Ladies, he is married. I'm sorry. But put the Q&A down there. I already see a couple popping in. Then if it's not on the topic I happen to be talking about, I promise we will circle back and answer every single question if I'm here till 11 p.m. tonight. I will need another dew. I'm getting low on dew at the moment.
Okay.
I'm like out of dew. Those that also don't know, I don't drink caffeine at all. So when I drink Mountain Dew, it has a strange effect on me. It'll kick in probably in about 7 or 8 minutes, and you'll know it, and you'll be like, oh, dang, there's another gear. And I will run on that gear until the end of tonight, as long as I keep doing the Dew. So somebody, I didn't know who, I finally found out, but somebody mailed me this. It showed up today from Amazon.
Oh, that's cool.
And a bunch of coasters. I don't even really like Mountain Dew, but it's become.
You love it.
I don't love it.
It's your like guilty pleasure.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. And what's happened is everybody's sending me this because they get a kick out of these trainings and how much fun they are. So I should probably like tape this to the wall, like right there or something. That'd be kind of funny. But what we're going to do is, and I did find out who it was. It was Steve Snow. So thank you, Steve. Steve sent me this. It's pretty cool. He messaged me later and said, hey, did you get my package? I forgot to tell you who it was from. And I was like, oh, you're that guy. You're the guy. So I hope that everybody has fun today. And you may be going, why hasn't he gotten started? Believe me, you need this warm up because I'm known for data dumping and it'll be a lot to take in. If you don't have anything to take notes on and you've never been to one of our trainings, I would suggest you take some notes on it or mark the time. We started the webinar 30 minutes beforehand, so you're going to mark the time of how long it's been running, and that way later in replay, you can fast forward to that spot and you can watch that part. Make sense? Everybody's nodding, I hope, and they're saying yes, that makes sense, Aaron. So I'm going to put my little Mountain Dew sign up here. It's kind of janky, but I think it's hilarious, and I'm going to do it anyway.
Here we go. Here's a quick question.
Here's a quick question. Go ahead.
When you say things in your shop are slightly off, but you like it that way and it makes you good money, could you elaborate on some examples?
Yeah, I can absolutely elaborate on some examples.
Country Dubs.
Country Dubs is asking that question. I like your handle there, Country Dubs. So, yeah, everything in my shop is slightly off. So when you walk into my office, the way the desks are set up, it looks like the Starship Enterprise. Every single desk is set up, everybody's facing the front towards the customer. So anybody can walk in and every desk, like some desks are actually like behind each other and they can all look forward and see through to the front. I run 2-stage front counters, meaning I have a front counter at the front that's only for check-in, check-out of customers. Then I have a glass wall with a frosted logo. The writers are behind that. The writers can be on the phone. Customer can come in and they can go 1 second. The customer and them make eye contact. They nod. They know they're not being ignored. Very, very simple setup, but it allows you to always be customer-centric, customer-focused. Everything in our entire course and our business plan, everything we do is modeled after, and I mean this, everything, the customer, the customer, the customer. We don't mess around. So when you go and you watch our course and you see me live, everything, it's from a different angle. I'm paranoid about how the customer views us. I'm paranoid about it. That's one small example. There's many more. We do everything from how we bring customers into the back, almost every new customer in the back of the shop. I don't need to go into all that right now. All that's in the course, but I will dance around it and talk about a bunch of it. But you need to understand that if the customer is not at the forefront, something else is, and they can feel it. If you think money is because you're always chasing money to pay bills, then what's going to happen is that's going to bleed through to the front and the culture of how the shop is ran. It's crazy, but the more money you try to hold on to, the less you make. For example, customer comes in, they're frustrated, they're complaining. I talk to an advisor. The advisor goes, oh, hold on a second. Let me get the manager. Goes to the back. Manager's not there. Hold on a second. Let me call the owner. The owner left early today. Calls you. You don't answer the phone. They say, hold on. We'll get the owner. The owner will call you. They say, I can't wait anymore. They leave. Customer drives away. You finally get the voicemail. You then call the store. The store patches you over to the customer, or you call them even on your cell phone. You apologize. You offer to give them their money back. Well, now it's taking them an hour and a half to get to you and to get their money back. Now the customer's so embarrassed, they won't return to your shop even if you make it right because they had to make a scene in order to get anything back from you. You don't want the scene. You want your advisors programmed and you want them geared up and ready to go and empowered to give a refund on the spot, right then, not even ask any questions. So that's a couple little small things. We'll go on from there. Anything else, or can I get started?
Good.
I need a Mountain Dew. You said you were going to get a Mountain Dew.
Well,
I'll get you
Give me the little kitty cans. I don't need a big one. They're in the corporate fridge. Yeah, the little kitty cans.
kitty can. Start
Yeah.
small.
Starting small. The adult cans, the silos are for later.
Yeah.
kids.
I saw
All right.
Juice.
So I see you have 6 questions there.
They're random ones. They're kind of all over the place right now.
It's okay.
You ready? You ready to dig into these?
I'm untucking my shirt. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Let's go.
Okay, Mohammed says, what do you think will fix the issue with the help?
What?
Text. He was talking about text.
Okay. What will fix the issue with finding technicians? Is that what he's saying, or with technicians?
The issue with the help. I'm not sure what his issue is,
Oh, okay.
but that's his question.
Mohammed, I don't know exactly what your particular issue is, but you have to have technicians.
Tom
See
says
that?
pay them.
Pay them, yeah.
There you go.
That's dirty. I hate getting those cans and they got like the little crumbs inside there. Ain't nothing like that sound, right, guys?
It's really a
Oh.
cures.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir. So here's how this works. Your technicians have to always feel like you're the leader, you're in charge, you've got things rocking, you're taking care of them. If they feel like they're in charge, or they feel like there's a leadership backing them, that's where a prima donna shows up. If you go, Aaron, I got that technician that walks around and you can just feel his presence. He's pissed at the world all the time. If you've got that guy, I'm just here to tell you straight up, that guy steps up typically when you don't. They're natural leaders and they're strong personalities and they want somebody to buck up at them and you're not. So you've got to watch those guys when they start stepping up and they start getting aggressive. You got to come right back. You got to be the leader. That's why they behave in the beginning, because they assume you are the leader. And that's why they behave worse at the end, because they realize you're not. And now they got to be. Now, you also have to understand they're going to be grumpy if they don't get paid. They're going to be grumpy sometimes if they do get paid, because it's just tons and tons of work and it's lots and lots of stress. An acknowledgement of what they're going through can typically calm a technician down. Understand, it's hot outside, it's cold, and it's cold outside, whatever it may be.
Oh, he said finding text.
He said finding text. Okay, well, I just rambled on for nothing. Thanks, TJ.
Hey, I'm trying to
Finding
really-
text. 2 things. 1, you need to be always growing your own technicians. 2, you need to be always recruiting. I've got a gazillion A-techs now working for me, but it did not happen overnight. You have to be recruiting and you have to be paying well. We pay only flat rate, and except for my foremans, they have a bonus with the salary because they're always doing diagnostics. But when it comes to in any situation where you're trying to take care of a technician and keep them, just happy, flowing, lots of work, and keep them employed with you and nobody else, you have to say to yourself, why would they want to stay here? Couldn't they go anywhere else? Why would they want to stay here? Always ask yourself that. Always ask yourself that. You got a problem?
No, it's
Wow, I
not.
see you're clicking on stuff. I see it coming up on the screen.
Someone had an issue with their volume. I was seeing if I could raise the volume.
Y'all don't know, I got a camera on a little tripod here,
You got
and then I got like
problem?
this 50-inch TV behind it. It's got all your stuff. And when TJ messes on that computer, it changes up here. Any other questions, or should I just get started now?
I feel like you wanted to fight there for a
I
second.
didn't want to fight. I just was being nice.
I mean, we've got a ton of questions. I just don't know if you want to get into that or you want to just, because these are very random.
All right, I'll
Like,
get.
what is the meaning of life?
We need direction.
Okay, I'm going to go with this for a little
All right,
bit, and we'll
let's
come
go
back to
with
the
it.
questions.
We can go back to this.
All right. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that every one of you have some kind of crazy idea running through your head on how to fix your business. But somewhere in your head on how to fix this business is a strategy. And it's not what you're going to do, but it's what you're going to do first. So some of you right now still don't have a vision for your business. So this is the first thing you have to do. Some of you still don't have a business plan. That might be the second. And a business plan is not people get confused in business plans. They go and I'm going to have this many technicians, this many cars, this much average ticket, and then none of that happens. You can't, that's not a business plan. It's not ever going to work. A business plan is just put some teeth to your vision. Don't get so specific on that other stuff because you never know how a location is going to perform. Also, your location determines how you're going to work your business. You might have to do heavy marketing because you're in a bad location. You might not because you're in an amazing location. You may be saying, Aaron, what the heck are you talking about? I never have to wait for cars. I never have to do anything but charge and raise my prices every year because I keep getting busier and busier. You're in a market where there's less bays than there are cars. Not everybody else is in that market. Believe me, I've got clients all over the country. I've got some clients that are blowing up. They're adding technicians every month. They can't keep up. Just the town has a moratorium on auto repair shops, and the town's growing like a weed. No more shops can come, and every shop in that town is blown out. Then I've got clients with a shop next to them, both sides, across the street and everything, and they don't. So you cannot assume your situation is the same for everybody. Then when it comes down to loaner cars, do you need more cars to work on? You say yes. It only applies if you do specialty. If you're an American Asian shop and you think that having loaner cars is going to get you more car count, it will, but not enough to trump the cost. Now, if you're looking for more average ticket and you work on American and Asian cars, this is a great idea. If you're looking for car count, though, and you're especially Euro, diesel, even Japanese only shop, this works. But you have to understand, some guys now are doing loaner cars, going into debt just because it's the cool thing to do. You don't need to do that. You have to only do it for the right reason. And I hope I'm probably rolling really fast on that. I'll recap slower. If you're a specialty shop and you need more car count, you want loaner cars because people that will drive from farther distances but decide last minute you're too far would still show up if you had loaner cars. If you're an American and Asian shop and you need more car count, this will not give as much impact as the same money spent on marketing, okay? Because there's so many of them close by to you. Also, if you're if you're an American Asian shop and you're wanting more average ticket though, then this might be a good idea because now you can convert a waiter and say, I've got a gassed up loaner sitting out front and you can sell a $3,000 ticket that you normally couldn't that would have left. So if you already have huge car count and you have huge ARO, you don't even need to be thinking about this. That's not what if you want to grow, you got to be thinking about staffing and marketing. If you're saying, Aaron, I got an American Asian shop and my ARO is in the toilet and I got tons of cars, then you know what? Loaner cars can help with that. They really can. If you've got an American Asian shop right now and that American Asian shop is struggling a little bit on car count and you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I've got to get more car count. I've got to get more car count. Do not be tempted to chase loaner cars. Don't. Go after something like marketing. It's going to make a bigger difference. It just is. If you're a specialty shop, I want you to really think about this for a hot minute. If you need more car count, that's going to impact you. But if you need more ARO, it rarely makes a difference. Your car count's not high enough for you to convert those few waiters to really raise it. It's instead going to increase car count. So just think about how it's going to affect you. Enough time on that. Branding. None of you should be doing branding right now. Branding is a byproduct. Like, we have a Mountain Dew cup right here, right? We have AllData, who branded this entire event basically by sponsoring this and getting this in front of a lot of you right now. That's why you're here. So if AllData hadn't done that, you may not be watching right now. So what AllData did was branding, but what did that branding produce for them? Goodwill. And it makes you go, you know what? I want to keep using them. That's a good company. They care about me. See, you have to understand that branding for a company like AllData is easy. They're huge. Branding for a company like Bob's Auto is not easy. You're not huge. You have to think differently. So you're going to always do marketing, direct response marketing. I'm going to spend money on marketing and make that money back within 2 weeks of spending the money, literally, or I'm not going to do it. And the byproduct is they're going to see my logo over and over, and I will end up branding myself. You have to understand, even over here, accounting. You may not have gone through this whole process, and you may not understand what your accounting even needs to be. And I'll get to some of that here in a minute. But without this, you have no compass to steer the ship. Software. Some of you chase software like it's the end-all, be-all. It will not make you any more money. Are there things out there that are more efficient? Sure. But software won't make you make big money. The big money, the big hitters are going to be staff, training, and accounting. That's where the giant lumps of cash are laying around. Waiting room appearance. It's a huge deal. It's part of branding. Your parts matrix also affecting your accounts, making you more money when you're supposed to. Some of you out there have parts matrices that have different staggered steps, and the steps are so off base that at certain levels, you're charging people way too much, and at certain levels, you're charging people way less. You got to think about this stuff. Your store managers, some of you have taken the leadership away. You've castrated them. You've given them the name, but you're not letting them do it. It's part of your strategy. I never go into my stores. I go in to shake hands, kiss babies. I have one I've not been in 7 weeks. I need to go see those guys. Lead tech and lead foreman. You have to understand, do I need that in my shop, or do I have all A techs and can they, self-diagnose, they don't need help? Flat rate. Some of you think that's evil. It's not evil. And flat rate, by the way, it's kind of like, what do we talk about, TJ? It's like the drunk guy. You get, if he's a jerk and then he gets drunk, he's more of a jerk. If he's happy and he gets drunk, he's more happy.
Never heard that.
You're such a jerk.
And I'm a little drunk. No, I'm just playing. I'm not drunk.
So you got to understand, the way this works is that flat rate motivates people to become more of what they are. So if they're already a jerk, they're just going to be more of that. It's not that flat rate's bad. And just because you had a bad experience with a bad dispatcher in your past doesn't mean you have to going forward. Specialty shops. It's a great way to carve out a piece of business for you. There's a great book on this called The Pumpkin Plan by Mike Michalowicz. Go read that book, The Pumpkin Plan. It will change your life if you don't understand specialty. Some of you don't need to do specialty. So don't take it and run with it and do it just because that book says so. Only do it if right now you just feel like you're kind of wandering, you're not hitting traction with your marketing. Overhead. If you do not understand how much overhead you have every single day and how much you have to outrun, you will not make money. And should I own or should I rent? And some of you are so convinced you've got to own. You don't. You just don't. I could never have grown as fast as I did if I was concentrated in the beginning on owning every property. And you've got to understand that if I'm going out and I'm chasing ownership, then I got to own, I got to own, I got to own. And that's my whole goal. That's just an ego thing. You'll make more money opening more stores renting than you ever would owning that one piece of real estate. Larry, that's my retirement. You could just sell one of the businesses that you built for way more. And I'm not telling you not to own. I'm just telling you, make sure you think through this. Goals. If you don't have them written down, they're not going to ever happen. They better scare you a little bit. Most important thing of all, diagnosing. We were joking around about putting the All Data logo on the Mountain Dew can. We didn't do it. We didn't want to get in trouble, but we thought about it. And I got to tell y'all, if you think about diagnosing a car, your business could be the same way. I've got to keep thinking all data. I mean, you didn't have to do this, but if you have all data and you go in and you see how much hours something takes or a part number, et cetera, that's going to impact how you put something together, or how you take it apart. If you have a system to know how your shop's supposed to run, you're going to be able to diagnose it. It's going to impact the next steps in the plan. But see, some of you right now, there's no strategy. There's no system. It's just you're just trying to figure it out as things go wrong. And it doesn't work. So let's dive into this. TJ, can you push that door shut just a little bit so I'm not hearing that fan? Thank you. Move this out of the way. I'm going to give myself some more room. So we're going to dive in. I've been thinking about some different concepts. I want to make sure I get in everybody's head. Let me take this down. Don't need that. All right. Okay, so I want everybody to understand something real quick. A lot of you are chasing your business and you're racing, and you're trying to grow to hit a goal. But what's happened is your goal is way up here. Your business has started growing. And as it grows through the years, you hit various ceilings. But at some point, you hit this ceiling here. And this ceiling is when the complexity gets to be so much you can't get past it and things start to fall apart and you actually go back down. Some of you have had a record month this summer and only to have a smaller month right afterwards, much smaller. And you wonder why. Why do I keep hitting this ceiling and coming back down? Why does it get complex? Well, it gets complex for a myriad of reasons. And I'm going to switch colors here. If you think about it, one of the reasons your shop can get super, super complex and things can get just crazy is when you start to get beyond your oversight ability. And some of you right now, It's you and, we'll say 2 techs in the back. Well, as long as you can look at these guys and you're watching them, you know what Bob and Frank are doing, you're all over it. It's easy. You're over here, you see what's up, you know what they're doing, you're answering questions. You don't get to turn many hours because you're distracted, but you're able to see what's going on. But if we were to go to 3 techs, holy crap, now you're just bouncing around. You're not getting to do anything. And you start to pull your hair out. Then whenever we start to think about the next level beyond that, maybe you're on the front counter. Maybe it's you and Sally. She's selling, you're there able to help, you're both selling, your oversight on that one person's easy. One day, you leave and you go off the front counter. And you leave 2 riders, and now there's no oversight. They're on their own, isolated. Things start to go wrong. Things start to happen. You start to freak out. You start to say, oh my gosh, how did we get here? And then you start saying to yourself, crap, I'm gonna have to go back on the front counter. And then you start imagining yourself on that front counter. And when you imagine, it feels a lot like hell. You're like, oh no, oh no. And you start having hot sweats. You're like, I don't wanna go there, I don't wanna go there. And you're gonna have to go back up there and oversee these 2 people. Why? Because you've hit a ceiling. Things are starting to fall apart. Well, let's talk about that for a second. Imagine your business is this popcorn bucket. And this is all popcorn. Now, a lot of you have seen that whenever popcorn starts to pop, it starts to pop, 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 and it starts to come out and it starts to fall down the sides. Well, that popcorn that starts to pop and fall down the sides, these are all your little kernels, that is lost business. So this lost business is money that you should have been able to put in your bank account that you weren't able to. Just period. You were not able to put that money in your bank account. And it just keeps falling away. Because the marketing, your reputation keeps bringing more cars. It's people calling you up and you telling them you're too busy. It's people you're not saying yes to. It's cars you're not fixing correctly. Cars you're not inspecting because the shop got blown out. You're just blowing the cars through the shop with maybe an $80 oil change and nothing else and like a wiper blade. Those particular situations, all lost business. But this popcorn just keeps popping, it keeps falling, keeps popping, keeps falling off the side. What I want you to imagine is what if you were able to take these sides and insert them, these pieces of cardboard around the bucket all the way around, and you could allow the bucket to get taller and hold more popcorn. And then I want you to imagine that these are systems. They're new ways to do things. See, the way you've been providing oversight right here is by you doing it, not a system looking over all of these people. You've been doing it. But what if there was a system? The system might consist of other people, managers, etc. But what if it wasn't you? Aaron, that'd sure be nice. I'm just telling you. You have to view this as your business. You've got to. Every one of you. You may even tell me, Aaron, my business isn't growing. It's not doing more. Yes, it is, and I'll prove it. Some of you right now, your shop, which color should I do? I'll do this. I'll just stick with red. Your shop, this right here represents your poor attitude. You're running people off your front counter, nasty front counter. Ashtrays up there, it hasn't been redecorated since the 70s. Or maybe your shop is really clean and you're just a very dominating figure, and you're just making people feel uncomfortable, including your own employees, intimidating them. It could be over here, not saying yes. What I mean by that is trying to book people out 2 weeks. It could be over here. What would the term be? I don't know. We'll just say too proud, not giving people their money back, not wanting to take care of them. See, you got to collect a certain amount of customers and you start running through them. And then the only way to get more car count is to go buy more customers. That's very expensive. If you see a shop that's running really, really high marketing, like above 10%, which I would never do, then that shop is having to do that because its attrition is so high. We don't want that. See, all of these popcorn kernels, They're all falling out of the bucket every freaking day. And here's the crazy part. I tell this story of my my own clients all the time. You got this fat little puppy, right? Got a little tail, and got his legs, and got a little belly. I know this is an amazing drawing. It's not a pig. It's a dog.
Give him a little curly, cute tail.
Okay, he's got a curly.
It's a pig.
Ignore TJ.
Fat pig.
It's a
yeah.
fat dog.
Thank you,
It's
Carlos.
not a pig.
Carlos said it's a pig.
Carlos, I cannot believe you. So you guys' ears. He's a happy dog, and it kind of looks like a lamb, actually. But this dog is a puppy. And as this popcorn keeps falling, eventually they eat it. And one of the analogies I like to use is I like to imagine the Thanksgiving table. And the Thanksgiving table has a turkey on it. And that turkey is sitting on a nice big fat platter. And you've been dropping crumbs on the ground. And this little puppy dog's gonna come up one day and he's gonna keep eating these crumbs. Until one day this dog grows to a full-size German Shepherd and they're gonna put their paws up and they're gonna take that turkey right off the table. I was that puppy at one point. I did this to somebody else. I want you to understand something. These crumbs that are falling off, all this popcorn that's bubbling out, you can't contain because you've hit a ceiling that's so complex you can't figure out how to solve it and it's stressing you out. I am telling you, I don't care if you're doing 3 million and you're working all the time. I don't care if you're doing 400,000. It's the same freaking thing. I am telling you right now, those crumbs will fall, somebody else will eat them, and they will get rich living off of your marketing dollars. That timing belt you're not willing to let somebody bring their parts for, I need you to think about this for a second. That cheap guy down the street, you think he's going to go out of business, but they're going to take that to him and he'll work for nothing. And he'll eat that. And when he eats that, he'll get a little stronger and a little stronger and a little stronger until one day he shows up and he's stronger than you because your pride, your ego stops you. Now, I'm not telling you to let everybody bring parts, but I am telling you if you think you can convert them to a normal customer and win their trust this time, treat it as a marketing expense. You've got to think outside the box. These guys that go open up their own shops, you probably, me, when I started, we had no money, but we had time. More time than another guy who was fat and happy. I was hungry. You're hungry. And you got to remember that. Those of you right now that have goals and have bigger operations, I'm going to talk about something for you here in just a second. But I want everybody to understand something. When you start growing, you hit the ceiling of complexity, things start to come apart. And when things start to come apart, you start going back to your core values and you don't do anything else about it. A lot of you have a core value inside of you and you've not even really thought this through. And this core value, as every one of us, is something that Tony Robbins says, and it's, we get what we tolerate. You will literally keep getting what you allow to happen. No more, no less. And Jim Rohn has a great saying. Jim's is that you get what you deserve. Not what you want. Just because you want the new, Corvette, the new C8, the 20 model, you're not going to get it because you want it. You're only going to get it if you deserve it. And how do you know if you deserve it? If you got the money. Sadly, some of you, if you got the credit. But you're not going to get it unless you deserve it. You have to see that the reason your business is hitting the ceiling and bouncing off and someone else isn't is because they figured out how to get past complexity. Why is your business so complicated? It takes genius to make it simple. Any idiot can take something and make it complicated. The car comes in, you diagnose it. You call the customer up, you tell them how much it is. They say yes, or they say I got to think about it. You check back in with them. Once they say yes, then you dispatch it over here to your parts person. They find the parts, locate them, get them ordered. Parts show up. You dispatch it to your technician. He fixes it, puts it back together. Your QC guy checks it out, takes it, pulls it back around front. The writer goes over the ticket, makes sure it's right, stories up the ticket, builds value, calls the customer, tells them it's done. They come pick it up. They pay you. The check better clear, or they better have cash, or they better have a card that works, and they're gone. That whole cycle of life started at the first mailer they got in the mail, The ad in the Yellow Pages in some poor market that still uses the Yellow Pages, believe me, they still exist where there's a lot of retired people, or newspaper even where there's retired people, or out in the country on a TV ad where television's cheap, or on the radio if you're not in a huge market, or on the internet, Google AdWords, geofencing, you name it, Facebook, whatever. And they showed up at your business the day you spent that money and they went through that whole cycle. Some of you are hitting the ceiling, you're going, I don't understand. Something's broken. Can you see all the way? Mostly, you can see mostly. So it's this business cycle, right? In this business cycle, if we start here and you have to spend dollars, once you spend those dollars, it goes this way. It is your job to get this around the bend as fast as possible, back to here, to deposit dollars. Now, if that takes too long, you lose money. If you can do it fast, you make money. I want you to remember something. Write this down. Money loves speed. Don't make it perfect. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. You need to understand that too long, you will lose money. How can I get this car into my shop, diagnose it, get it back out here, go all the way around? Some of you, the reason there's so much chaos is it's going so slow. You've got last month's cars, still you're trying to collect on to pay this month's bills. And when you get a cycle, a cash conversion cycle that's taking too long, you're screwed. I've got some of my stores that average 3 days. Some have an average of 5 days. Some have an average of 2 days. I don't have any that average 1. What is that? I've got one that actually is like 1.8. This is average days that it takes a car to get into my shop and then leave. The longer a car stays in my shop, the more overheads attached to it and the less profit you'll have in combination, and if you relate it to your average ticket. It's not just a simple formula. I don't have time to get into it now in this training. It's something we teach with our paid clients. But you have to understand that speed is the issue here. How can you get the car in, get a nice, healthy average ticket, and get it back out of the shop as quick as possible, minimizing the expense of the overhead against that car? That's how you have to think over and over and over. What you've got to understand is your business is always trying to grow all the time. You may say it's not. I've got proof all across the country that it's the case. I got shop owners all across the country. Our first 100 clients, they were able to increase in sales $50 million in 1 year. How is that possible? We had several that were huge hits, and we had several that were just small, and we had a whole bunch that were just pretty good. 50 million. I didn't think it was that high. Somebody bet me, and then we went through and we added it up, and we couldn't believe it on just the first 100. I don't even know after that. Every one of you right now, you have to ask yourself, if they can do it, why can't I do it? It's that the 4-minute mile. If one guy goes and breaks the record, it just proves that everybody else can break it. So you've got to ask yourself, how can you break the record? Our screen is crooked, but it's not the screen, it's the camera. Is that better? That's a little better. Kinda. It's close. I'll leave it. It'll work. So I'm kind of starting to get on a roll. I got something else I want to talk about before I do.
Starting to talk fast.
I'm starting to talk fast. I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I'm drinking too much. My hands are starting to shake. I'm drinking too much Mountain Dew. Let me answer a couple questions before I switch gears.
Here's a question for you. It's kind of a random one. So someone who feels like, man, I know this. Why can't I implement it?
Oh, yeah. So, man, I know this. Why can't I implement it? You know you need to go hold someone accountable. You know you need to go fire somebody. You need to go hire somebody. You're scared to make that tech an offer. You've never hired an expensive ATech. You've never gone and disciplined somebody and the right way with a write-up. Instead, you've always just sent them home or fired them and blown up. You've not been able to do that stuff in the middle that would create a healthy work environment. And so now all of a sudden you find yourself in this place. And thoughts are entering your head. And so here's a thought, right? We'll do a little cartoon like drawn. And it enters your head. You have 5 seconds to act. If you don't move on it, your brain will talk you out of it. Your brain wants to be lazy. It doesn't want to go through hard times, especially embarrassment and complex type thinking. It's designed to protect you. 5 seconds, and if you don't act, it's going to start to fall apart. Many of you thought, I need to do direct mail. And then you, it's too much money. It's never going to work. I shouldn't do it. When there's all these studies on how to do it. Free. I mean, we've got them. I've got free ones right now floating around on Facebook. I think on our main page. 20-minute videos of me yelling on how to do it. If you need the step-by-step process, it's in our course. If it didn't work, Mud Lake Mail would not be in business if it didn't work. Give me a break. I mail with them. I spend 20 grand a month on direct mail every month. It's like 19.7 something. I don't even know how much it comes out to. Every freaking month. You've got to understand that you have 5 seconds to make that crazy decision. Okay, Aaron, a new location opened up on the corner. I think I can do it. You got to do it right then. Or what's going to happen? You're going to talk yourself out of it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got no money, you don't need to go do this. But if you have some money saved up and you're just being too cautionary, you got to see that. 5 seconds to make that technician an offer. What's going to happen? The guy down the street's going to make the offer. 5 seconds. You cannot think. If you just keep making decisions, you will get there. And I want to point something out when it comes to decisions. Many of you throughout life, when you start here, you're going all the way to here. And this right here, this is where you retire, or I don't want to say die, but you end up going through these decisions. We'll switch. And what happens is because you don't want to make a decision, you get no forward progress. But if you would make a decision and then make another decision, and if the desired effect is to stay here, like let's just say going below the line, you're losing money, and go above the line, you're making money. What's going to happen is you might have a hit like that. But here's the point. You have forward progress, and at least you know what not to do. The only reason I can teach you guys this stuff is I've probably been through every single thing you can imagine. I've probably owed the IRS more than you have. I've probably owed the state of Tennessee more than you have, or your current state. I bet I've had more employees quit me or try to hold me blackmail for stuff. When I got stolen from, guys, I had everything go wrong under the sun. Everybody told me to give up, file bankruptcy. Everybody told me to stop, and I didn't do any of it. There was just a rumor from another coaching company that said I did file bankruptcy. It would have been a whole lot easier, wouldn't it, TJ?
It would have.
It would have been a whole lot easier, but I didn't.
I probably wouldn't be so fat.
You probably wouldn't be. No, gosh. You don't
Ate my worries away.
Oh my gosh. No, you didn't. But you guys have to understand that I chose to fight it out. I chose it. You chose to fight out your stuff. And every step of the way, you got forward progress. Well, Aaron, when are you going to teach me how to sell more? There's a saying we have here at Shop Fix. Fix the owner. Fix the shop. You have to understand something. Your shop right now is a mirror of you. It's just a reflection of you. If you're going to decide to go after it, it's going to work out. If you're not going to decide to go after it, it's not going to work out. It's all up to you. You have to decide. I can't make you do it. I can't twist your arm. The reason you're not taking action right now typically is a fear that has settled in because you're taking too long to think about it. There's a great book by Michael Masterson, who's that's his pen name. His real name is Mark Ford, and it's called Ready, Fire, Aim. Ready, Fire, Aim. I believe I said that right. It's a great book you should buy. Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson. That's his pen name, but his real name is Mark Ford. Super smart dude. And the whole concept is basically about you get an idea of what you need to do and just go for it. Because it's a lot easier to steer the wheel of the car once it's rolling. And so many people are still thinking about what to do. A lot of people judged me and thought I was never going to do anything. And then all of a sudden, I was making all this money. They loved me. Then I get stolen from. Like, oh, see, look at that guy. And then I kept working through it when none of them had the character to do it. I'm here to tell you right now, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep opening more stores. I'm going to keep going for it. The moment you guys start nipping on my heels, I got to keep going. There's some of you right now that are bigger than me. I've got clients that are larger than me, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get bigger than them. That's how my brain works. I'm motivated by the people around me. And the people you surround yourself with are going to be the ones that cause you to act. Lazy people are going to make you be lazy. People that get up and go for it, and they realize that today's the last day I've got, today's the one life I've got to move. Those are the people you want to be with. They freak you out. You go, holy crap, I got to get going. And the moment you start thinking that way, that's when you start making progress. Even if it's wrong, you at least move forward. That was a really long answer for a short question. I'm sorry. Should have been quicker. Next question, TJ.
All right, we'll roll into some of these. I have a shop in a town of 6,000 people and feel like we've maxed out on customers. We have been stagnant for multiple years. Any thoughts?
Get revenue. I need to know how much revenue you're doing. So you have a town, a shop in a town of 6,000 people. You've been stagnant for multiple years. Any thoughts? So tell us how much revenue you got. I'll pause for a second. Move this one. This is such a big deal. I hope I get this, TJ.
Well, you keep that there because we got a question on the ceiling. We got a Canadian.
Oh, we got a Canadian?
Got a few Canadians.
All right, so while we're waiting on Eric to type in what his revenue is, 450,000.
450,000. Okay, so Eric, you got a town of 6,000. I've got a client in a town of 12,000, median income of 28,000, and he's doing $2 million. He signed up with us 2 years ago, doing about 1.2, 1.3, and then within 8 to 10 months, he was hitting 180,000, and then he was hitting 200 in a couple months after that. So I have a client in a town of 3,500. I won't give his name, but a lot of people know him. He has been. A lot of our clients are in Ratchet Wrench and the other magazines a lot, and those magazines don't ever reference where people are going for 20 groups or coaching or training meetings, etc. But this particular guy is doing, I think, 5.8 million out of a town of 3,500. So yeah, the town's not your issue, man. You're doing something wrong. There's popcorn falling out of the bucket somewhere. I might show up and go, oh, there it is, right there in the beginning. It might be a horrible advisor on the front counter. Could be you. You might have really bad work. You might think your work is fine and people just aren't complaining because they just don't do that because you're so nice. Maybe you're great on the front counter, but your work is crap. I don't know. Maybe you're saying no to everybody and you want more work, but you're not actually taking it. Again, I don't know without being there, but it's definitely possible even with 6,000 people.
I think the key, I think what you're trying to say is the key is stop making excuses.
Stop making excuses. It is. And I'll tell you the other thing. For a lot of you that see the limitations, I got too much competition. I've got too small of a town. I'm in the middle of nowhere. We got a client, his whole county has 5,000 people. The whole county. Whole county. He's in Missouri, out in the middle of nowhere, not anywhere near any of the big cities in Missouri. And he's doing $80,000 a month. The whole town, or whole county is 5,000 people. I mean, like, his average client's driving 15, 20 minutes just to get there. I think the town he's in, well, he's not in it, but the closest town is like 2 miles away. There's like 400 people in the town. So not an excuse, man. I really believe that there's something you're doing wrong repetitively, and you just don't realize it. You just don't realize it. So our course can help you with that. I don't mean to keep referencing back to the course. Ask anybody here in the chat. If you guys don't think the course is any good, over here on the right, well, I'll just ask it. Okay, anybody here that thinks the course is good or decent, please, if you've already bought, write in the side and go for it.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
This is from Randy. I have 8 stores in Eastern Canada and now realize we have hit that ceiling. What would be the #1 process to start with to break over that ceiling?
So I got a client with 14 locations. And, one of the things that we discovered with them was in an attempt to always be simple and be able to mirror and franchise, if you will, each location so he could easily manage them. The stores were actually starting to be held back. The operation was probably, in a simple way of saying it, too centralized. So I want to ask you, what was his name?
Randy?
Randy?
I deleted it.
You deleted it. Thanks to you.
It was Randy.
It was Randy.
Randy in Canada. You have to make sure that you give each manager their own autonomy to decide if they want to put flowers on the front counter, have some jazz music playing, or if they don't, or if they want snacks and drinks. And then you put the standards, but you give them some variables to make their own decision, empower them with their P&L, let them see the entire P&L, don't hide anything from them. You might be doing that already. And then get them all together for a sales meeting and talk about, let's say you're doing, 10, 12 million at 8 stores. Maybe you're not, I don't know. If you want to do 15 million. Get them all together and go, how do we got to do it? How many cars do I need? How much are we paying per lead now? If we have to market outside that distance even farther, I'll have to pay probably twice per lead. Can we pay that? How many more technicians would I need? What is the ratio of techs to riders I'm currently running? And if I assume that I don't make any of my systems better, how many more would I have to hire of all that? Who are we going to put in charge of hiring all those people? Who's going to be put in charge of training all those people? And you just keep building it and building it and building it, and then phase it out into how many per year or how many per quarter. That might be an easier way to look at it. But Randy, you can blow this thing up. I would really encourage you to decentralize the power. And what I mean by that is you can't control all the power at your home office or your corporate office. You have to let your people have more of the power. And then I would encourage you to share the net profit with them. If you're not, that's not going to help. I shoot for a 20% net, but I end up with only about a 17% because I turn around and I overpay the manager back and I give them a lot of the net. I shouldn't say overpay. They earned it. But I turn around and I give them a lot of the net profit back because I feel that they are performing at a level that they normally would not perform at if they weren't getting that bonus. So they see the P&L and I go, see, that's how much we have. If I'm paying somebody 5% of the net, 10% of the net, 15% of the net, you might decide to do 20% of the net. Whatever that is, I go and I write them a check for that. And if that means I never have to show up again and I can keep growing stores, it's worth it. So hope that helped, Randy. Mr. TJ, keep going.
Scott says, how do you identify, oh, wait a minute, did I just say that one? Did we just do that? Oh, no. How do you identify the quote-unquote curtain for the next growth step?
The quote, how do I identify the curtain for the next step?
Yeah, like what is, I think he's just saying, man,
Like what's kind of stopping
what's
you?
behind, yeah, maybe what's.
I don't know. Y'all got to get specific when you ask the questions. Whenever you have a curtain, it's imagine this. You go and you reach and you can feel it. You can tell there's something there, but you don't know what it is. And you need the curtain out of the way so you can get past it, get through that veil, if you will. That veil that's blocking you from getting that success every single time, every freaking single time, I'm telling you, is some type of belief system. Like on this side of it, I teach this even in the course. You got this cloud. And you're trying to go, Bob is intimidating employees. I don't know if I should fire him. What should I do? And as you enter into the cloud, the decision to fire this guy is at 51% to 49%. So you're barely thinking you should fire him. You almost think you should keep him. So you're barely trumping that decision. You're just not sure. You go through this cloud, this confusion. You come out on the other side. And when you get to this other side, you end up having this revelation, and it ends up being 99% that you made the right decision to 1%. All of the doubt is dropped down to 1%. All of, I think I should do this, has grown to 99%. This was the right decision. But you had to get through this cloud here called confusion. So you've got to understand that we have this with every major business decision in our shop. All of you do. You do. If you don't see that, you're not going to be able to get to that next level. You have to understand how you operate as a person and what's holding you back. So I need to do some numbers for a second. So if you have your standard profit and loss statement, okay? And let's say the shop is doing $100,000 a month in revenue. And your technicians, let's say those technicians, let's say you got an A, a B, and a C tech. Put that over here, A, B, and C. All right, we'll draw these guys. We got, and what I mean by that, A-level tech has to do with diagnosing ability, same with B and C. C might be able to turn a ton of hours, but they can only do really easy stuff. So I'm not talking about speed. When you rate technicians, it's their ability to diagnose. That's what gives them the hourly rate. So you might be paying this guy $15 to $20 an hour, 22 to 26, and like 27 to 35, even sometimes 40 in some markets. So you have to understand the different rates are based on the ability to diagnose, not on the ability to turn hours. That's on them. If they can turn more hours, they make more money. So if we take your standard P&L for your technicians and we say $15,000 is your tech cost, and for parts, it's $25,000. And this does not matter if you're specialty or not. And then our overhead is $40,000. And down here, our net profit's $20,000. Now, very easy percentages, 15%, 25%, 40, and 20, because I went off of just an even $100,000 a month. Now, if you think about this real quick, I'll go ahead and put a line here just so that's easy to understand. If you think about this real quick, your tech cost right here at $15,000, if you're in a poor rural market, you're going to get that cheaper, but you will pay the same price for parts that I do. That's what's crazy. When it comes to overhead, in a poor rural market, you may not be able to get 50, 60% GP. You may only be able to get a 50. But guess what? Your overhead will be less. So you could still get a net. Your overhead could be 35%, and then this could only be 15 left over in a traditional sense. But see, here's what happens. People will think, oh, wait a second, Aaron. If this is, instead of being 40, if my overhead was actually 45%, I'd only make 15, but hold on a second. Up here, because technicians cost less, and because all of your overhead ends up being less, I said this totally backwards, not 45%, 35%. This ends up being 35% because you're paying less for advisors, you're paying less for rent, all that stuff. That extra 5 points comes down here and still gets you 20%. So the goal is always 20. Make no mistake, the goal is 20. And the only reason it would drop would be because of multiple locations and sharing it with partners, AKA managers that are in a partner of the percentage. Now, what I want you to understand and see is if you can't grow, are you willing to sacrifice a piece of that net to buy customers? Are you willing to do that? So, Aaron, I currently in my overhead am spending 5%. That's the norm. And I'm spending it on my marketing. And I'm only getting an additional 30 customers a month, but I want to get 60. Okay, so if we think $5,000, I need a calculator. I don't have a calculator. TJ, take somebody, $5,000 divided by 30.
166, 166.
Okay, so $166 per new customer. Now, another way we could do this math, take, we're going to pretend you're doing 200 cars a month. Take 5,000 divided by 200.
25.
So we're paying $25 total, just generically, for all of our customers. So that would be to get someone to return and to buy new. What you have to always understand, though, is all of your new customers are always costing you $166. We're just going to keep that math simple. We're not going to get too scientific about it in this scenario. If I said to myself, am I willing to pay even more than $166? Well, I don't know. What is my lifetime value worth? Well, if the average customer comes to you 3 times a year, if you can capture them, then that customer at an average ticket of roughly $100,000 divided by 200 would be $500. That customer's worth to you $1,500 a year. So if a customer's worth $1,500 a year, am I willing to spend $166 to buy a customer? So if I got a customer and they're worth $1,500, would I buy them for $166? And I go, well, yeah. I mean, net profit at 20% on that would be, what, $300? So I'm willing to give up half that net profit to get that guy? Yeah. But hold on a second. This customer, he's helping you already outrun the overhead that you've already paid with all these customers. So it'll actually be more profit than just $300. This is where we start getting into the crazy math. You need to see that you have to decide that you're willing to pay more money to get more customers than even $166. Why is that? Well, your location, it may be located here and you're marketing to a market this big, but if you go out this far, not as many customers will make that drive. So you'll have more wasted media. Are you willing to spend that money? And if you're willing to spend that money, maybe this jumps to $200 a customer. How many are you willing to buy? And then it's your shop's job just to keep that customer returning over and over and over through retention and doing a great job servicing that customer. If you can do that, holy cow, guys, it's going to be mind-blowing. But you've got to decide that you're willing to start buying customers. This is just a very, very basic. It gets so much more complicated than this. And you can get a parts manager to help you get this parts bill lower. There's so many other just angles and ways you can make more money, but you got to decide you're going to do it. Now, here's another one. If you don't spend the money and the overhead on the right things, I'll have people, they'll tell me, I don't want to spend money on coaching whenever they first reach out to us, and just ask for help. I mean, coaching saves you time, which makes you money. I never missed a meeting when I was growing my shops. I still am in masterminds now. I'm in 2 right now. And then I pay a private coach. You've got to decide for yourself, what is it you're trying to go after? How bad do you want it? Are you really willing to spend the money? Well, I don't got the money. I got to tell you, some of my very first events, I didn't pay rent and I went to the events because I banked on myself. I knew if I could just learn, if I could just hang out with the people that were doing it, I could make it. And you've got to see yourself, even if you're small, that you could someday be the big dog. And all of you that are out there that are big dogs, you can't get complacent because some little one's going to come eat your lunch if you do. I'm telling you, they'll take the food right off the table. I'm going to take a minute to get a drink.
All right, let me
get a little too passionate.
Another question for you. So Brandon Smith, this one was from a little while ago, so we'll go ahead and ask it. Can you implement the program without a mechanic background? Started as a service advisor, never wrenched. Seems as a lot of you are techs yourselves.
Yeah, has nothing to do with it. Absolutely.
I think we had a dentist once, didn't we?
Yeah, still do. We got ex-accountants. We got, you name it. I got to hang on this paper somewhere. Thank you, my lovely assistant. Sure. Yeah, it has nothing to do with your background. You can do anything you want to do if you're able to have your BS meter go up and go, what's that technician saying to me? I don't know if I believe that. You've just got to go into it just understanding. I'm not implying your tech's lying to you. I'm just saying that if someone did get in there, you want to be able to see through it. It's not going to be because you know cars. It's going to be because you go, you don't sound confident. I'm pretty sure you're not telling me the truth. That's how you figure that stuff out. And then the car knobs will come later. So yeah, honestly, it might even help you not knowing the cars because you'll be more driven to know the numbers. And that is what will make you successful.
So Greg says, what is your best marketing method to acquire new customers?
My best marketing method to acquire new customers. Let's teach on marketing for a second. All right, there's a process to marketing. So I'll go through the levels. You have branding. Then we have advertising. Then up here we've got marketing. And the absolute best you can get is promoting. I try to live in this world. Give you some examples. What am I doing right now? I'm the front man of my company here at ShopFix. I'm up here doing my song and dance. I'm entertaining everybody. I'm trying to teach, bring value. I'm trying to make it fun. What do we call that? Valuetainment. And just try to valuetainment. I'm just trying to make it exciting and get you engaged, right? Make you think about your business like you never have before. So the only way I can do that is I get to such a level that you start noticing me everywhere. Well, all data, thanks to the guys there. They've sponsored this because they see what we're doing to help out shop owners. They want to be a part of it. They believe in it. So they have helped push this out to you guys. They want to see you guys get breakthrough. So we don't just want to partner with anybody. All that is actually a company that we use in all of our stores. So they did this for you guys. Then secondly, I want to make sure that in my town locally, I have a radio show. I'm on every Saturday morning. I want everybody to know I'm always the expert. So how do I become the expert? It's through positioning. How did I become the expert with you guys? I also have an article in Ratchet and Wrench magazine, in the back of their magazine every single month. I also have a podcast I do with them every single month. Every single month. I never stop promoting. What is the level below that? Marketing. How does marketing work? Marketing is whenever I send out a piece that pre-sells. That means by the time it gets to my advisor, they could be an order taker, which I do not want, but they could be an order taker, and they could still sell. They could still sell it. That's the piece. I've got to be so good that they are so excited when they get to my front counter, they are ready to buy because my marketing's got such an irresistible offer attached to it. Advertising. I'm telling them about my features and my benefits. I did the wrong color. Tell them about my features and my benefits. And it works. But it doesn't have the same power that pre-selling does. This gets me on their radar and gets them to know me at a really deep level. The branding is what I stand for, right? It's like you drive down the road, you see red and white letters, and it's cursive. We all know what it is. If you see red and white in the distance, it's kind of an oval, and you see like the shape of a chicken, you know what it is. You better. The golden arches, you know what it is. Green with a little bit of red, you know what it is. Thanks, TJ, for that example.
Welcome, Chick-fil-A.
You're welcome. So it just takes something from a distance, and it's that lowest level, most basic. A lot of you have complicated logos. I mean, what's the most common logo in auto repair? You know, it's Bob's. Sorry if you're Bob. I totally apologize. We have a member named Bob, and I'm always picking on Bob because it's a common name, and we always are joking about it. But it says Bob's Auto, and what do we always see? It's like a wheel in here, and it's always like the Corvette shape or something.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
this-
good Corvette
like that-
right there, boy.
That's a good-looking Corvette. Like that's the logo we see in every auto repair
You
shop.
drew another pig.
I drew another pig. I guess it kind of looks like a pig laying on the dinner table, and it's a
Yeah.
snout.
Yeah, that's good. Good job.
Thanks, appreciate that. So what you got to understand about Bob's Auto in this logo is it's too generic. It has to be something that stands out. But if somebody went and they made this cool, box, and I'm just making this up on the spot, and they put the letter B in it, and the letter B was like colored in, and you saw this from a distance, literally making up what a logo could look like. And then it was just Bob's like that, and then it had, auto written below it, and it was in a square.
It'd be so funny if someone just took that.
Somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm taking it! I'm taking it right now! I'm stealing that logo!" Like, I'm just making it up. But what would happen is this right here.
It's copyrighted.
We're having a little too much fun here. We got to get back professional.
That back out.
So what you got to see is they would drive by, and this B in this square would just pop, and they would get to where they are used to seeing that, and they would recognize it over and over and over, and it's very simple. That's that branding. But that's not going to bring them customers. That's just going to say what you stand for. And so you've got to work your way up. Branding, you never want to go target. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the number one thing you need to do right here, marketing. Some of you will have to jump to advertising first before promoting because promoting takes some cash. And then when you get down here,
You got people blowing
Branding.
it up saying,
whew,
man, I got to change my logo.
sorry. Sorry for all the bad logos out there, but they're bad.
Damn it.
And here's the deal. You think you notice this crap, but think about your dentist, your plumber. Think about the big plumbing trucks that are driving all over town. Their logos are everywhere, and you recognize it from a distance. It's not some corny, looking logo with a faucet. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using a car in your logo. It's just got to be different. It's got to be simple. It's got to be bold, and it's got to be something you can see from a far distance. Don't be like everybody else.
Yeah.
All right.
That was an amen.
Amen. Glory. Hallelujah.
All right.
All right. Next.
Oh, okay. Here's kind of a crazy one.
I do need to tell you all about the course offer here in a few minutes. My bladder's doing good. I'm feeling okay.
Craig said, wish I could link my logo so he could bash it.
I wish I could link my logo. Yeah, Craig, it's okay, man. I don't need to bash your logo.
You want to get into pay plans?
Yeah, let's get into pay plans. Let's do it.
Mohammed says, how do you figure out service writer and manager pay?
Okay.
And thank you in advance.
Thank you in advance. Thank you, Mohammed. Service writer and manager pay. So we'll start with advisors or writers, whatever you want to call them. So for a service advisor, I typically pay hourly, and that would come out to anywhere from $20 to $28 an hour. And then I would have a commission. That commission would run 2 to 5% of the net. Let me explain in detail. So the reason you have to do hourly with the service advisors is because technically they are not management. So the feds are going to jump on you if you try to pay them as a salary. Now, could you do it? Sure. Most small businesses across the country are breaking the law on this type of stuff. They love to pay salary, and most advisors actually love to be paid salary because it's dependable. But technically, because they are not able to have the right to hire and fire because they are not a manager, they must be paid hourly. So I range here. I do a 40 to 45-hour clock hour week. I run shifts. So my shops have my shops are open 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So 7 a to 6 p. And then what I do on Monday through Friday, and I'll do that too. Monday through Friday only. I'm not open weekends. I'm an advocate for spending time with your family. And what I want you to see here with these shifts, now some of you can work Saturdays. Please don't freak out. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying that's how I want to do it. And there's multiple reasons why, because you can hire ATECs, you can hire the best service writers in town because none of them want to work for the shops on Saturdays. And then you still get all the difficult work that no one else can do. And so it ends up promoting your business plan. But another story, I digress. Back to the shifts. I will have somebody work 7 to 4, somebody work 8 to 5, and then somebody work 9 to 6. So if you have a 3-man front, you could have an advisor open here. You could have the manager 8 to 5, and you could have the parts manager 9 to 6, or your service advisor assistant. Or what you could do, if you had 2 advisors, you could have an advisor open and close, the manager in the middle. Or in some cases, if your assistant is not that mature and able to handle really complicated stuff, you keep them at 8 to 5, the manager might close or the manager might open and the advisor on the opposite shift. And then here's the kicker. The person that's late, while a lot of people don't want to do the late shift because they're kind of sitting up in the morning with nothing to do, but they always get off about 6 because the store shuts. The person who's 7 to 4, while they get to go home early and it's the one everybody wants, this guy here, a lot of times when it's busy, might have to work 7 to 5, 7 to 4:45, 4:30, 5:30, 6 p.m. till closing if it's just crazy. Rarely happens, but I'd say fairly often they have to work to 4:30 or 5. So they have to work more hours. It's just the natural course of it, which will mean they'll get overtime if they're not the manager. So you just need to think that out. You can rotate that weekly or you can set it up permanent. Now, for your manager, is this helping? I hope this is helping. I don't know if anybody else sees this with any value. But the way I pay my manager is I pay if, let's do it this way, under 100K, I don't have any stores this small, but when I did, I paid $4,000 a month. Over 100K, I paid $5,000 a month. Then, it doesn't stop there. I pay that manager 5 to 10% of net profit. So the store made 20 grand. If it was 10%, they got a check for $2,000 on top of this. And if they were at 5%, they got a check for $1,000. Now, what if it was a scenario where they'd been with me a long time and I really trusted them? I could even take them up to 15% of the net profit and give them a lot of autonomy. And so then if we still made $20,000, they'd get a check for $3,000. Make sense? And if they made 30 or 40, they might get $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 check, bonus check on top of the $5 grand. So they're making some good money. So, especially if they can do it consecutively in a row. You might want to be totally gone and give away any more. But if you think about it, if without this, you're making, or you're paying them $5,000 a month and you're making 20 grand, if you were to give them basically 3% of the entire gross sale, which would come out to roughly being 15% of the net. I shouldn't say that. That's going to confuse some of you that don't do high-level math. And I'm not saying that offensively. I'm sorry. But 15% of the net profit would be $3 grand. $3 grand out of 100 would be 3% of gross revenue. $3 grand, 3%, if it's 100. So 15% of the net, I could give away 3% of the gross of the net. So that would basically be leaving me with 17 grand. I'm okay with that. Now, a much larger store, like doing north of 200, they're going to be hitting 24, 25%. So you can give away 3 or 4% and you're still way north of 20. I'm just talking about a store doing about 100. So that's my pay plan for managers and advisors that I currently are paying all my people based off of that. Hope that answers that question. Next question.
Yeah, I guess, and I don't know if that answers Jerry Ward's question. What is the average percent of net I should profit share if my net is 20%?
The average percent of net that you should profit share is what I just laid out. So that should answer his question.
All right.
Who's
How about what do you think is the best way to pay techs?
Guy, can you help me with this?
Flat rate.
All right. I like flat rate. So flat rate is the way to go. So an A tech, B tech, C tech. I'm going to expect $30,000 a month in revenue. I'm probably going to get 20 a month out of that guy, 30 out of that guy, and 40 out of this guy, if he's able to turn his own hours. If he's having to diagnose and hand off, those numbers will shift a little bit. 30 is the minimum I want out of my team. I've been hitting as high as, just recently, 45 and 47,000 a man, but that's not for a normal shop or normal technicians. You have some really banging guys that do that. My pay rates on these guys are typically going to land, and I said these before, anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour. Up here, anywhere from probably 21 to 26, and up here 27 all the way up to 40, depending on the market. I've even seen some at $41 and $42 an hour. I would never want to go that high, but if you've got to and you don't have one right now, you may have to. A-techs don't want to go to a shop, but there's not any other star players. Eagles want to fly with the Eagles. So you might have to do that right in the beginning to land your first A-tech, but you will get more and more and more and more. Now, this is the thing I need you to understand. Flat rate is not about taking more from them and then making less. That's not what we want. We want them to actually share in the profits of the business. And I hate that so many people are against it and say flat rate's dead and it shouldn't work, blah, blah, blah. I've got technicians that would quit and walk out that are making 80, 90, 100 grand. I got one guy probably pulling down, I got a couple pulling down between 130 and 150 that if I killed flat rate, they would walk. They want to be rewarded for the skill set they've mastered. If you want the best freaking players in your city, this is how you pay. And a lot of you don't think there's guys out there can turn 200, 300, 400 hours in a month. They exist. I didn't think there was a guy that could turn 400, and I landed a guy like that a year and a half ago, and he does, and no comebacks. They are unicorns. They're very, very rare. They show up at 6:30 in the morning. They work all the way straight through the shift that I just laid out here, all the way till 6:30 at night. They don't take lunches, and they eat a sandwich while they're going. They take it, with their greasy glove on even. They're just shoving it in their mouth. They're just draining the oil. But when they're done, they killed 20 hours that day, and they do it day after day after day after day after day after day. So you've got to understand how this works. If you got 3 techs, you want 90K. You got 4, you want $120. You got 5, you want $150, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You got 2, you need to be doing 60. If you said, Aaron, I'm not doing 60 and I've got 2, why? One of them sucks or both of them suck. Or you're paying them hourly with no bonus plan. I can't tell you how many shops have helped convert to flat rate, and then when they convert, every single time.
Yep.
Oh, I'm already giving you my best, boss. There's no more left in the tank. Holy crap, the first week they double the hours. I mean, it's just crazy.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle, an act of God.
So they think they're helping the technician because they're paying them hourly.
They're actually
We had
hurting
one
them.
story that we saw on one of our members.
Oh, yeah. So they think they're actually helping their technicians. Their technicians, the first month on flat rate, all make more money, and then the shop brings in more revenue in that month than it's ever brought in its history. The first month. That's an extreme case that usually doesn't happen, but it did with this guy.
Yeah. All right. Here's some interesting questions.
Oh, and
here.
let me say this one part.
Oh, yeah, go for
And I'll come right back. I'm sorry. To get to flat rate if you're hourly, guarantee them for 4 months. So you're going to walk out there and say, hey, guys, we're going to put up this dry race board. I'm going to track your hours every day. You start writing it on there. You say, we're going to flat rate in 30 days. I'll start tracking your hours today. In 30 days, I will guarantee you 40 hours a week. The month after that, I'm going to drop it to 35 hours a week. The month after that, I'm going to drop it to 30 hours a week. The month after that, I'll jump it to 25. Over the course of 4 to 5 months, they'll be totally off. Now, here's the kicker. You will find in the first month that when they see you going out there writing new numbers up every day and printing a report off your software, they're going to go, oh, crap. Boss man's serious. He ain't playing, or she ain't playing. She means business. And what will happen is they will start to perform. You're going to go, hey, they're just going to quit. Even somebody who wants to quit, they all live hand to mouth. They don't ever have savings. They will keep working until they figure it out. I shouldn't say they don't all have not have savings. There are some out there that do. And for the techs that might be watching with owners tonight, and you've been responsible with your money, props to you. But I think you would even agree that most technicians don't save their money. And honestly, most advisors also don't save their money, sadly. So what ends up happening is on the other side of this, they don't have the ability to just quit and leave you. They're going to at least try it for a week or two, which then they go, oh, I just got some more hours. I'm going to make some money. And I'm a big fan of simple pay plans. Pay them even numbers, $30 an hour, $31.50, $32. Don't do $31.25, whatever. Don't give them an incremental bonus if they hit a certain amount of hours. You need that, little Johnny to be able to pull up that car at 4:30. He's supposed to get off at 5 and go, I could tear down this water pump and have it back together by 5:45 and pay for my dinner tonight because it's a 3-hour job and I get paid $25 an hour. That's $75 and I can make $75 right now. I'm going to do it. And he dives in, gets it done, turns in the ticket before the shop closes at 6. Shop has it out front in the morning to be collected in the morning. You don't get that with complicated pay plans they can't do in their head. You don't need crazy graphs and everything. It will not work. You won't get the performance. Sorry.
That's good. What about benefits currently paying all Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance for techs?
I pay 50% of the technician or 50% of his entire family. And I do that same thing for the advisors. For GSs and parts managers, I only pay for the employee only. So it's only for high-paid employees that I do everything else. So
here's another one. And this is kind of a two-part question. We've got someone talking about the automotive repair industry and then a automotive high school instructor. So Matt says, why should we encourage people to be future techs when the other trades typically have less stress, better pay, require so much less certifications? I am losing techs to other trades on a regular basis. Chicagoland area.
So if you are losing techs on a regular basis, I'm going to ask you what the work environment's like at your shop. Is it a grease pit? Do you have the floors epoxy? Does it have AC? Does it have heat? Are you a good boss to work for? Do you have a bad employee in there that's running everybody else off? Are you not paying enough? Because we're not, and I got a ton of clients in Chicago, a ton that don't have techs every day walking out and quitting to go work at Comcast and IT World, et cetera. No, they can, and it does happen all across the country. But you also have the opposite happening. We've got people that used to be technicians that are coming back to the trade that are also quitting after they went and worked for some huge company. So you're seeing it both ways. That really, and you may not be asking for yourself. You may just know people that are losing techs. I'm not sure in your situation. But it is our job to keep improving the work environment. So that means the shop has to be nicer. I'm in the process now of putting AC in all my stores. We've already got epoxy in all of them but one. We were trying to get epoxy in that one, and we've already got AC in one, and we're rolling it out to the other 3. And we're testing HVAC commercial units with normal condensers, et cetera, with a big windsock in the middle. And we're also testing mini splits, because now you can get a mini split from Mitsubishi with one condenser outside and the 5 evaporators on the inside, running off of one pack. It's kind of a crazy setup. We don't know if it's going to work. We're testing that now. So you need to figure out whatever you can do to keep improving their work environment, and then supply the expensive tools. We buy all the scanners. They only get their own stuff.
All right, Mr. Martinez says, what can I, as a first-time automotive high school instructor, should I explain the most stressful point to all of my students? What should I explain the most as stressful point, I guess? New future techs in the auto industry.
So this guy's a teacher, and what should I tell new technicians coming up in the industry what the most stressful things are? I'm going to tell you
Or maybe he's saying, what should I stress the most to them?
Or what should I stress most to them?
I think that's what he's trying to say.
Okay. Y'all read your stuff twice before you hit enter, so we can make sure we get it. There are a lot of questions coming in, and I need to get back to teaching in a second. But I'm going to tell you straight up, I would tell them to learn how to multitask. Most technicians, when I see them break down, it's because they can't multitask. And then the second thing, this might even be more important actually, probably a tie, is the diagnostic tree. You know, it just comes down to a few simple things: gas, spark, air, right? So many technicians, like their brain will leave, or their thoughts will leave their brain whenever stress enters in. Teach them to control stress. It's hot outside, it's summertime, cars are flying in, we should be making money. And they start to break down and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. They keep coming in with more clipboards and more cars or more bags or more digital inspections, whatever y'all use. They keep coming in with more and more cars, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And they start to stress and lock up. Some of you need to hide those tickets from those technicians and not let them see them. So Mr. Shop Teacher, thank you for what you're doing. You're filling our base with technicians, so thank you for what you're doing for the industry. I really appreciate it. But teach them to deal with stress and teach them not to leave the diagnostic tree. They've got to stick to it. Their brain,
can make a lot of money at this industry.
they can make a ton of money, and I hate it. We've right now, I've got 20 technicians that work for me in all my stores total. We're going to be at 21 here shortly. And I think our average technician now is making 70, and that's including our really low guys. And I got a lot of guys making north of 80, and probably I'd say 5 in that group making north of 100. So I'm just telling you, you've got to decide that if you're a technician, that you want to crush it. Same thing with advisors. They just got to decide they want to become master salesmen. We are selling what people need. We're keeping them out of going into debt for a new car. Next.
On the subject of client supplied parts and saying yes, do you recommend charging more labor than usual to offset profit on parts not being made? Let me finish the question. I understand the free 15-minute inspection, vetting the client with questions first. Also, if the client is a DIYer that will not bring any other work, still say yes?
Okay, if you know a client's never going to bring you more work and they're a do-it-yourselfer, they're just never going to do it, then you may not want to entertain that. It's a judgment call on a per situation basis. If you get a client that comes in and they're just nervous about the cost and it's just a crazy expensive repair, you might be able to mark up the labor, make a little bit more money on the labor side, land the job, also find out it needs a water pump or a serpentine belt, sell those at full markup because now they trust you when everybody else pushes them away, treat it as a marketing expense, land the customer for good, and start bringing you all their cars. The number one reason people do their own work is not because they're trying to save money, which you might think it is. It's because they had a bad experience. They don't trust us. It's just true. I mean, I want you to stop and think. All the bad technicians you fired, think about them all right now. Just imagine them. Okay, come out of that nightmare. That was horrible. Now, all those technicians, they're working at your competition. How many customers are getting screwed every month? They're having horrible experiences. And then we, the good shop owners, we don't expect to now want to bear that burden and try to turn this industry around. Guys, it's going to take all of us to turn it around. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to partner with ALLDATA. We've got to understand our customers have to get a quality product. And they can't go in blind. The technician can't not know what he's doing and go, oh, I can just keep torquing these aluminum bolts till they break off in my hand. You can't do that. And if you don't have somebody QCing these cars and checking every freaking car and go, oh, my techs cross-check each other. Bull butter. They don't cross-check each other. The first time you hire a QC kid, it'll be a general service guy, a porter, whatever, and you give him a clipboard and you say, I want you to take this clipboard. I want you to go out there, and every time you find something on a car, the belly pan missing, the engine cover not on there, the radiator cap off to the side, grease on the headliner, the radio station on the rap music's on, the seat leaned way back, the memory switch not where it's supposed to be, pop in the trunk, the tail lights lay on the floor, they put the little bulbs in, they didn't put them back, the expensive snap-on flashlight laying in the floorboard, all the floorboard, the under dash laying down halfway, the ducting out, screws all over the floor where they forgot to put it back. Every time you find that, every freaking time, write it down. And when he comes to you in the first month with 3 pages worth of crap, you're going to freak out. You're going to go, how come no one has been saying anything to me? Because you have a great customer base that's forgiving. They're like you. They go out to restaurants that don't do a good job, and they still tip 20%. They're like you. You need to think about this. Think about it. I'm just telling you right now, straight up, you need to understand. You've got to understand that mistakes are being made and are not always caught. And the quality that you put out is what's going to make customers come back. And that's how we turn the industry around. All those bad technicians you fired now work down the street. But until we try to turn those technicians around when they work with us, we won't improve the industry. That's why repair information is so freaking important, because they're just shooting from the hip. And let's just not just repair information. Are you sending them to conferences like Vision, other conferences? You know, WorldPAC puts on courses all across the country. O'Reilly does. I'm sure AutoZone and Napa do as well too. All this stuff that's cheap. Why aren't we sending our technicians all the time to this stuff? Where they don't want to show up. Tell them if they don't show up, you're going to take out their pay. Go ask them if they want to do it. Get them to sign up and commit to the cost of it. Somebody has to cast the vision and get that technician excited about making more money and about improving the industry. You have to sell that vision, not me. You got to go into your store and sell the vision. Get them all in a circle. Don't go one-to-one. Get your 8 employees or your 5 employees or your 10 employees in a circle and tell them, I have a dream. And just tell them the story. Cast your vision one to many, not one-to-one, one to many. And when you do that, there's power when you orate and get those people excited. Just like there's more power right now because the hundreds of you that are here versus if I was just doing this with me and one person. It's magnified. It makes impact. It causes influence. And those of you that have weak leadership in your shops right now and you're trying to figure out how do I get them to do what they're supposed to do, you can understand there's a lack of influence. And if there's a lack of influence, it's because there's a lack of respect. And if there's a lack of respect, it's because there's a lack of discipline. And why is there a lack of discipline? Because you're so stressed out. You're so maxed out. You don't know how to get to that next level. Some of us right now, we're running around letting stress dictate what we're going to do instead of paying attention to what we should do. You have to look deep down inside of yourself. You got to say, how come I behave this way? Why do I kick the trash can when I get mad? Why do I walk out in the shop and I kick the door open from the office in the shop and it shakes the wall? Why do I intimidate my technicians? Why do I get all mad and put on a show so everybody sees I still got authority and I still got power? That's not true authority. It's not true power. That's a lack of discipline, and they dropped a little bit more in respect from you. And when they drop in respect, then your influence gets weaker. And then when you ask them to do something and follow standard operating procedure or a process that you want them to do, guess what? They're not going to do it. Why are they not going to do it? Because they don't feel the influence from you, because they don't see the respect. They don't connect with you and your discipline, wanting to be like you and be more for you and fall on the sword for you. If you're out there smoking out back with your guys or you're going out and drinking with the guys, that ain't going to work. I'm sorry, Brohan, it's not going to work. You got to step up. Ladies too, you've got to step up. You have to separate yourself and hold yourself to a higher standard. Wow, that was a big rabbit trail. I'm so sorry.
No, that was good, man.
I got excited. Whew. Can you switch to irrelevant small talk for just a few seconds? I need to step away for 30 seconds. I don't want to miss a freaking word. That is too funny.
Potty break.
Potty break. Okay, everybody go right now. 30 seconds. I don't get to go.
Mountain Dew in full effect.
Maybe you should try.
Steve Snow.
Maybe you should try.
Mountain Dew has kicked in. I've only drank 4 cans. I'm going to need another one here in a minute.
All right, I'm on it, boss.
Baby cans.
I'm going to do...
Make your hands look big.
I'm going to do an offer. Is this how I make my hands look big? I'm going to do an offer real quick. Oh, I misspelled. You know, I before
some people were texting me about it. I had to do it.
I went to school. I know. I'm in a hurry, guys. I'm rushing up here, trying to bring value. So, oh, my back hurts. What I want to make sure I explain real quick.
The big can.
Bigger can,
A
baby.
big can. An adult size can there. So I want to make sure that I bring value. So I'm going to give you the offer. So for those of you that are like, got to put my kids to bed, I got to go in a minute. I'm going to do the offer, and then we're going to go right back into teaching because I got some more stuff I want to talk about. Get your questions ready. So I think I can take this down for good. TJ, you take that from me. All right. All right, so I'll save these for just a minute. I'll use those clean pieces of paper here in a second. So I'm going to go through a few things. I'll get to the price point here in a second. I should have waited. I'm going to block it. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so here's the deal. If you've never bought any of our material, I'm not going to stop. I can't keep doing this. I'll just get my head right in front of it. I'm not tall enough. So our course. When I originally started this back in 17, I was selling my course. I think it's 95 or 96 videos. So we'll just call it 90 videos plus $7,000. It is what I sold it for. It is a trainer in a box. It is information on demand, as Femi put it. So you could say, oh crap, I forgot what he taught about average ticket. My videos in that course are anywhere from 7 to 14, 15 minutes long on each topic. So you don't got to go fly across the country, watch something and learn about a particular topic. It's super short on that topic right there. Now, we love flying and love getting together here at ShopFix. That's something we are big on, but that's not for this. So this course right here, I sold in the very beginning for $7,000 all the time, $7,000. And then we grew into our mastermind and everything else, and that's not what this one's about. We're not talking about the mastermind, but after that, it just, we didn't understand the power of it, and we started seeing the power of it. We want to get it in more people's hands. I have 7 additional success modules also in the site when you log in, easily worth $1,000. The Facebook group, easily worth $3,000. The 6 live coaching calls. So I'm going to do 6 of these, except you'll be on a webinar with your face, and I get to talk to you, and you get to answer your questions one-on-one. I will do it once a month. I got to do September's call here pretty quick. So, which, Phoebe, we got to get on that and make that announcement. I keep forgetting. $500 in PDFs. These are going to have little infographics drawing out our systems and what we teach and what we believe, so you can see how it works. You can tape it to the stall bathroom, to the lift, to your guy's toolbox, whatever you want to do. Well, don't put it on their toolbox. They'll get pissed. Oh, and the mug. And I got to tell you, this mug is legendary. I think people have died for this mug. There's been blood in the streets. It's at least worth $1 million. We have people freaking out about this mug. They love the mug. They get ticked if they don't get the mug. And they constantly remind me if they don't. So all of that easily worth $17,510. I so feel like the ShamWow guy right now. But are we going to sell it for that? No. And it's all written right here. You've been able to read it while I was doing this, and hopefully it didn't distract you. You can go right now to shopfixacademy.com and click on our courses right there. And when you go there, the full current price is $2,997. I think we sold some here in just the last 5 to 10 days for that full price. That is the price right now. Payment plan currently is 6 months at $697, so it's roughly $4,200. If you buy it right now while we are still live, like you got to buy it while we're on here, because when I stop, Femi's going to turn off this first link. If you buy it while we're live, you can pay one time for $2,397. That is a $200 off coupon from what I'm about to do here. So you're going to get $200 off extra. Here it's $25.97, but you're going to get $200 off extra, $23.97. Way cheaper than what it is currently on the site. Or 5 payments of $497, and your first payment I will knock $200 off. So instead of it being $497, you're going to get it for $297 plus 5 payments at full price. Huge savings, huge savings. If you decide to think about it tonight, not buy tonight, and buy after I go off the air, just to test this and see if we're telling the truth, this link will be gone. It will be gone forever. And then this here will be alive. This will be our new link. Buy by Friday at midnight, Central Standard Time, because we're not going to stay up for everybody on the West Coast. So, sorry. Central Standard Time, 12 a.m., $2,597. So if you're in California, that'll be 10 p.m. or Washington State or Oregon, and 11 p.m. in the mountains there, and what would that be, 1 a.m. if you're on the East Coast. So that price will be good for $2,597 till midnight tomorrow night if you don't buy during the webinar. $2,597 to get $17,000 worth of great, amazing product. Now this $497 for 6 payments comes out to about $3,000. That's still way cheaper than this because it's traditionally $4,200. So it's a huge savings. It's an awesome deal, but you got to buy while it's live. And if you don't know if it's worth it, ask in the comments and say, is it any good? And let everybody else comment and respond to you. They can tell you if it's good or not. If they don't think it's good, if you think it sucks, please tell us if it sucks. But I'm a believer in the product. Man, that was good. Mountain Dew. All right, so
he doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Whatever.
I only drink it at conferences. I only drink it when I'm speaking. I like it once every 3 or 4 months.
Pleasure.
So again, the course, 90 plus videos, $7,000, 7 additional success modules, $1,000. The Facebook group, $3,000, 6 live coaching calls for $6,000, the PDFs for $500, the mug, $1 gazillion, all for a total of $17,510 worth of value that you can buy right now if you buy it live for $2,400 basically, $2,397. Or 5 payments at $497 And the first one, you'll get a $200 discount and only have to pay $297. So you could technically get on there right now for $297. Is that what you're saying, Aaron? Yes, I'm saying that. You can get on there for $297 and you can start applying your teachings. I'm talking to myself. This Mountain Dew is really kicking. I better leave and go see somebody about this. No, but this right here is a huge deal. I want to point this out. Some of you are really struggling. Let me just get serious. So, and I'll go back to teaching because I got some big stuff I want to talk about. I have been where you're at when you owe parts vendors. I have been there when they won't deliver anything and you get put back on COD. I have been there when you don't have enough money to make payroll. I have been there when you have to go home to your wife and admit to her you just took the last dollar of savings out of your savings account to make payroll. I've been there when I had to run my credit cards up to make payroll. I have been there when my landlords had me 3 months out and said, Aaron, we're about to have to evict you. I've been there when the sheriff came to find me to serve me papers to say they were going to evict me. I've literally been deeper in the hole than any of you have probably been. Maybe there's somebody here that's lost more than me. I don't like giving that prize out. It's a sucky prize, but I've been there. But I've also gotten to make a lot more than most of the people on this call. And I want to make sure that you understand my heart in this. I'm being transparent. I'm trying to be humble. I hope that you will do the same. If you believe in yourself and your ego is hung up on, oh crap, I'm going to have to pay more because the payments are going to come up more than this, but you've only got a few $1,000s, keep your money in the freaking bank, pay your bills, sleep tonight, but you can probably squeeze $300 out and do something that will make you $5,000 more this month. In fact, in the first 3 videos of Basics Bootcamp, which is the first module, that alone will make you probably $10,000 the first month. Be responsible, step by step. You want me to read something? So I have to play devil's advocate. You're scrolling too fast.
I'm not scrolling. It's people are texting.
People are typing.
Yeah, hold on. Let me move it up a little bit.
Um,
Because I think you should speak to that a little bit.
okay, Craig just said, so I have to play devil's advocate. I like what you have taught me so far, but will it work for a very small shop? 2 lifts, 1 flat. Not looking to become a multi-million-dollar shop. Just want to get past the inconsistencies from month to month homeless. From 1989 to 1992. Well, I'm sorry if you, I don't know if you're joking about being homeless or if you really were homeless, but if you were, I'm sorry about that. Craig, here's the deal, man. I got a guy, I don't want to say his name. We got a guy with a 3-bay store that's, he's done 1.89 million out of 3 bays. I mean, come on. Anybody can do it. I had a shop teacher. He joined our program doing $8,000 a month, bought this course, didn't talk to him for 5 months, calls me up one day later, got my cell from some other member he was friends with, calls me up and says, Mr. Aaron? And I said, yes. And he's older than me. And he said, I'm doing $30,000 a month. I'd like to join your program now. I was like, what? And we don't advertise our mastermind. I mean, you gotta reach out to us to even find out any info on it. You got to go through this. No one knows about it. It's not out there, on the public sites. And I was like, are you sure you're ready for this? All the travel, the meetings and everything. And he said, yes, I'm ready. I went from $8,000 a month to $30,000 a month in 5 months. I was like, okay. And he joined and he's just kept growing. And we had one guy with one location, doing $80,000 a month. 10 months later, he's bought a second store. The first store is doing 160. The second store he takes from 100 to 150. And he's going to make $700,000 18 months after he joined. Net $700,000. Some of you don't have that character yet. You can't handle that. You're not quite there. But some of you just want to make 100. Then go make 100. It's not hard. Stop thinking it's hard. So Craig, I'm going to call you out. That stupid subconscious crap that you're listening to that's telling you I don't want to be a multimillionaire because money means more headaches. I'm going to call you out, Craig. It's not more headaches. I work less than you, Craig, on my stores. Stop thinking that way. That's not right. You're holding yourself back. I'm not trying to be an ass to you right now, but I'm here to call you out. Your family's depending on you. Your friends are depending on you, and you're supposed to be more successful. And I have a saying around here, I feel like I'm kind of a big deal. And I feel like if you know me now, you're a big deal. And one of the reasons I feel like I'm a big deal is because I met you, and that's why this is all going around. You're a big deal too. And there's people you need to impact that you can't do if you don't have cash. Don't go out and pick it because you're trying to make a point. Write the freaking check. And when you can write the check, then you can make a difference. So yeah, you're supposed to be making money. And yeah, you're probably supposed to even be a millionaire. Stop listening to those lies in your head that keep you from pushing yourself. When you push yourself, you find something you didn't know was there. And what's in there is something way bigger than any of us can see. Way bigger. The problem is right now, you see yourself as small. You see yourself, I can't understand those P&Ls. I can't understand marketing. I can't do leadership. I've only got 3 bays. Stop saying what you don't have. Start saying what you do have. There are people in other countries that would kill to have the opportunity you've got right now. You're in freaking America, in the United States of America. The land of the free, the home of the brave. You got all the opportunity in the world. Go get it. Go get it, man. Come on. Your family's put up with enough. You've got to go for it. All of us have put our families through hell. I have. I bet you have. I bet a ton of people on this call have. We've got kids that have missed parents, or parents that have missed kids' Little League games. You haven't been to soccer practice. You haven't got to go to their dance. You weren't there to take their picture when they left on their first day of school. Why? Because you were at work. That stupid ass shop you've got, it took from you. Our whole goal here is to stop. Like, I see business, these small business, because I'm not going to stop the repair shops. I'll tell you my vision. Small business, I'm just going to leave it like this. Small business is literally trying to pounce families, all the American families. I say that I have tons of clients in Canada, and we now have clients over in Europe, and we've got a handful in New Zealand and Australia, those English-speaking countries. But small business is crushing the American family and trying to destroy it. My entire goal, this is what it's trying to do to you and your family. My entire goal is to stop that from happening. That is my mission. And I'm with auto repair now, but someday I'll do other small businesses. I'm not going to stop because this is my passion. My passion is to save this, to protect that. And some of you got to decide that you're going to protect this. You got to just make the freaking decision. Don't get these these stupid excuses that say that I don't have to be rich. That's headaches. That's hard. That's not true. It's just not true. Sorry, I'm getting so passionate about it. It's sad to me that families are destroyed because of a lack of funds, because of stress, because they can't sleep, because there's nowhere to go but work. There's more to life than work. Sorry, I got so pissed about that. All right. Next comment. Oh my gosh, I just read it. Craig said, "Yeah, stupid ass shop is my wife's pet name for our shop." Oh, thanks, Craig. Oh my gosh.
That's Swedish.
Oh, this is nice and cold. This feels good. This feels good. See, all data, I could have put this logo right here. It would have been great. Thanks again to the crew at All Data for helping make this happen. All right, so next question.
He also just said I can handle the harsh reality. It's why I'm here.
That's really mature, Craig. Thank you, brother. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you saw my pitch. She's got the links there. I'm going to go back into some teaching. So some of you right now, I'm just going to hit on some marketing stuff for a second.
Dude, I think you should hit him with some more mindset stuff because that's really what's stopping a lot of these guys.
You really think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let me do one illustration, then I'm going to go into some mindset. All right, this is your shop. Your shop has a certain level of capacity. Over here, you decide to market. That creates leads to come into the shop. What comes out right on this side here is revenue. You have revenue and you have expenses. I'm doing a lot of word pictures here. Now, I want you to imagine this is, how would I do this? It's a stack of papers. And it's a stack of bills, right? Or I'm sorry, a stack of invoices to your customers. You need, on your expenses side, it looks like pancakes, doesn't it? I didn't do a good job drawing it. On your expenses side, you need it to be lower. You know, all that paperwork to be lower. All these bills, all these ROs. If you bring in more revenue, the difference, the net difference here between this height and here, this right here, this difference would be your profit. Here's the problem. When you go and spend money on marketing, you spend a little bit of the profit you have, or maybe you don't even have any profit. You take a little bit of your cash that's already spoken for, you spend it on marketing. It increases the amount of leads coming into the shop. If you don't simultaneously increase capacity, you will not increase revenue. So if I have 2 technicians that are blown out, if I go spend money on marketing, will I increase my capacity? No. I'm stuck with the same capacity. So will I end up increasing my revenue? No. I won't have any more revenue. So will I outrun my expenses? No. I won't have any more profit. So you have to simultaneously, when you expand your marketing, expand your capacity. Now, what if you had 3 technicians and they're not busy all the time? Well, then yes, you would go do marketing. It's the perfect recipe. You're not having to add staff. You're going to increase capacity without increasing overhead. You'll then increase revenue. Revenue will then outrun expenses and you'll have more profit. But you have to make the decision to go that far. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. Now, let's back up for a second. I want to make sure everybody understands this piece of it, and we'll talk about the mindset of this. Some of us right now, we're looking at capacity. We're looking at the marketing piece, the revenue, and all of our bills, and we're just saying to ourselves, how? It's one step at a time. The first thing you always do, you have to have capacity. You have to have the ability to even do the work. If you can't do the work, you can't make money. After you increase your capacity, you got to go buy more customers. It's going to come down to your marketing. You got to have customers. A simple way to do that is saying yes. A lot of you, especially shops that have been around for 15, 20 years, if you've never said yes and you've always been always kind of busy and always maxed out, I guarantee you've probably got enough backlog reputation type work that you could blow up and probably double in the course of 10, 12 months. We do it all the time with shops, all the time. And you may not think that's possible, but it is. See it all the time. Small towns, big towns, in town, in the country, you name it. When you see your capacity increase, you then see the marketing starting to work and bringing you more customers. Then you have to become a master of your finances. Some people try to become a master of finances before this. I'm going to tell you that's not the right route. I would rather you in the beginning just hire this out. Who you hire it out to, you're going to then ask for training. You're going to ask them to teach you about profit and loss and balance sheets. I'm not going to teach that right now. I taught a little bit about P&Ls, but it gets way more complicated. We just do that with our paying clients, but I want you to see something. If I hire this out right now, so all you got to think about, how do I work on more cars? All right, I got that piece handled. How do I get more customers? All right, I got that piece handled. Now the work's coming in. Now I got to take every Saturday morning and come into the office if I don't have the time Monday through Friday because I'm actually having to do a position in my shop and I do my finances and I master this. How do I do that? Think about this. It's all, see, strategy, this is the thing that we teach. Strategy, the big piece here you need to see is when a lot of you have tried marketing and said, oh, it didn't work. But it wasn't the right timing. You've hired a technician. It blew up in your face. It wasn't the right timing. You know when people hire technicians, for example? Hold on. Here's what happens. For those of you who have tried to grow and it hasn't worked, you've decided my shop was here, your shop starts growing, and it's going up, and there's all these different areas you can hire a technician. And when do you hire a tech? Like right here, almost at the top. You keep waiting until the shop is crazy, crazy busy. Okay, now it's just slammed. I'm 3 weeks out. I got to hire somebody. You finally hire somebody. What are the odds that in the busiest month you've ever had, you're about to have a slower month? What are the odds? Pretty high. If you've never done a month this high, what are the odds the next month will be this high? Not good, because you're already in record territory. Records aren't broken all the time. They're broken rarely. So when you only hire a tech here, you will always say to me, Oh crap, I just got slow and I had to fire him here. It's the shoes I hired and the shop slowed down. Every time I hire somebody, it slows down. When do you hire technicians? When do you hire help? Here. Wait, Aaron, you're telling me to hire help right as I come out of a slow spell? Yep. Shop's been slow, you feel it start to turn around. You're not sure, that's when you hire him. Well, Aaron, I can't afford to hire him. Yes, you can. No, I can't. Yes, you can. Let me give you an example. If a technician comes into your shop and a technician needs $5,000 a month, we're just going to rough it, $1,200 a week. He says, I want to work for you. And you say, okay, $5,000, and we'll say your shop has a $100 an hour labor rate. So I'm going to ask you something. Do you think that your shop can generate, I'll just pick a number, 8 hours a week? 8 more hours a week. Could you find, 1.2, 1.3 hours a day? Is it possible? Could you find that? If you can find that and get 8 hours a week, we got 8 hours times 4.3 weeks. Guy, can you tell me how many that is? 8 times 4.3? So 8 hours times 4.3 weeks, that's
34.4.
34.4. So 34.4 hours in a week. Now, that 34.4, we take 34.4 times $100 an hour, comes out to $3,440. Now, our needed payroll is $5,000. So we take the $5,000, we cut and we pay our tech. We've now brought in $3,440 in labor. And I have left, what would that be? That'd be 3,500, so 1,500, 1,560 roughly that I still owe him. But wait a second, there's more. He generated 34.4 hours, which came out to 3,400. Since parts and labor are usually 50-50, rough, then he probably generated also $3,440 in just parts revenue. So if he generated that much in just parts revenue, if you think about this for a second, if you run a 50% gross profit on parts, that means your cost was roughly half of that. So what would that be? I can't even do that math. What is that? 1,500, 16, 17, 20. So roughly 17, 20, I might be wrong. Somebody can correct me if I am. So $1,720 in parts GP. You would add that to this. Now I've got 1,560 that I'm trying to cover with 1,720. So 1,720, we'll do old school. I don't do Common Core crap. That's what my kids do. I do math the way it's supposed to be done. I carry the one. So 1,720 minus 1,560.
Show your work.
Yeah, show your work. Show your work. So that would be what, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do it. What?
Give me numbers.
I got it. I can do this. 120.
Okay.
So is that 160? Is that 160? It sure looks like 160. 1,700 minus 1,700. Yeah, it's 140. Yeah, I think it's 160. Hope I'm right. I'd have $160 left. All I had to do was find 8 hours a week. 8 hours a week. Technicians pay for themselves. So could you do that right here? Right here. And then guess what's going to happen? This right here is going to go shoot way past this, and you'll hit numbers you've never hit in your past. But if you wait and you do it here, what's going to happen? You've been telling people, no, can't get to you for a week. No, can't get to you. I'm so buried. I'm so buried. Go see so-and-so. And you've been saying no, 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 which is causing this problem right here. That's all this work falling away. Customers that would be returning back to your shop 3 months later for more work. Now they're not. They're leaving. See, you've got to understand that your shop is a product of you and your imagination and how you can grow your business. That's all it is. You cannot lose a single lead. Every lead must be captured. Every lead's got to be captured. You've got to understand that when your fear is driving the train and you're waiting to have proof to hire, you'll never make money. You hire because you can see where it's going, because you have a vision. You need a vision for your business, and then you go and you break it down with the business plan. What do I need to do to get to that vision? but you don't hold it in stone because it's got to be loose. You may hire somebody that don't work out. You're going to get the next guy. Don't ever take one situation and say, oh, that's how it's always going to be, and throw the baby out with the bathwater. I see guys that build their entire worldview off of one bad situation. I did flat rate once, the whole thing blew up. I hired an A-Tech once, he screwed me. I hired a girl once, and she came in here and talked bad about everybody and caused trauma. I hired a guy once, and this one guy came into my shop, and he had long hair, and his ponytail got stuck in the fan belt. The guy, got hurt. They come up with the stupidest stuff I've ever heard, and will never do it again because of one time. It's not going to happen again if you go in looking. You went in blind last time. You're different now. You're smarter. You're sharper. Okay. You got some questions? Sorry. I got kind of...
No,
I keep getting excited. I got to stop getting so excited.
I like it. How much do you budget per tech and service advisors for training?
How much do I budget for service advisors and technicians in training? Okay. We like to do, with advisors, 8 AM managers, probably 7 to 8 trainings a month. We really don't do a lot of them around the holidays because they're so busy. And we do those in-house. And then we are starting now to take our managers to conferences outside of hours. It's not good for them to just always hear from me, so they got to hear from other people. Technicians, we love Vision. Vision's a great conference with a lot of good teachers. What Sherry's doing over there with Milwaukee is just great. It's the Midwest. What is it? Midwest Auto Car Alliance? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But it's there in Kansas City every year in February, March, right there, the end of February, early March. And it's really good for technicians. They have good management stuff there too, but it's really good for technicians. And so we are actually entertaining taking all of our foremen the whole time and our technicians just over the weekend portion. So we're actually working the details out of that. It'll be expensive, but when you divide it out for the year, and then we'll hit up WorldPAC or O'Reilly classes based on the quality of the instructor or the topic that comes up. So I don't really do a budget on it. I just believe in it, so we just kind of do it. It just depends on opportunity that makes us decide to do stuff. Megan just says she's signed up, ready to roll. Congratulations, Megan. I'm excited for you. All the videos, I would tell you right now, you need to watch the first 6 videos on your own. It's only going to take you 45 minutes to an hour. Each video is 5, not 5. I think the shortest is 6. The longest might be 12 minutes. So maybe it's 45 minutes, the whole thing. But that first module, watch it and then go show the first 3 videos, Megan, to your people tomorrow. Buy some pizza for them, put them in front of the laptop, hit play, let them watch those first 3 videos, and then say, we're doing this today. And you will pay for the course by, end of day tomorrow, worst case, end of Monday. I'm telling you, if you just do what we teach in the first 3 videos, it'll be a massive, massive difference, and it's easy to learn quickly. TJ, questions?
How do you hold employees accountable when they make mistakes, texts with comebacks, etc.?
Oh, how do you hold employees accountable when they make mistakes, specifically technicians? A couple ways. So there's a lot of different opinions on whether or not you should make a technician pay for a part or not. I'm running out of paper. I'll just try to wing it here. I'll use a different color. I'll do black. So if you think about it, if a technician makes a mistake, you got several different levels here. We'll call it a level 1. We've got a level 2. We got a level 3. Now I talked about this in the course. So imagine this being like a Fisher Price hammer, and this here being like a claw hammer, and this here being a sledgehammer. One of the reasons we lose employees is because we take a sledgehammer to a claw hammer type situation or to a Fisher Price hammer situation, or maybe something really bad happens. Like somebody, I don't know, they just do something crazy bad. They steal, like not put parts in the car and say they did, etc. And you only bring a Fisher Price hammer to the situation. So there's different levels of write-ups. So one level of write-up would be like, I guess the casual write-up. You walk up, you start talking to them in the bay, and you say, hey, this is an issue, blah, blah, blah. And we really need to talk this out. You talk it out, you go, hey, can we document this real quick? And you pull out of your back pocket a folded up write-up form with your company's logo on it, if you have one. If not, it could just be a generic one. Unfold it, and you both fill it out together, and you say, hey, I want to put this in your file so you know about it, I know about it, let's both sign it. You'll both sign it, you'll leave. That little worm will work in their head, and they're going to be like, what the heck? I got to write up in my file? Does that happen, Guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Live and die by that stuff.
And it's crazy how it affects people.
Mm-hmm.
Then a medium level write-up. That'd be like you walking up and you pull it out and it's pre-filled out. And like, whoa, the boss thought about this. So you got to think about their perspective. They're wondering how much you've been thinking. So then the last level of write-up is, I want you to meet me in my office on Thursday at 3:30. And it's Tuesday and they're going, oh crap. And when they come in, there's a manila folder, you unfold it, it's pre-written, ready to go, and it's an appointment. Now they're going, crap. There's different levels to each situation. So a couple things. You got to have the wisdom to apply the right level of discipline to each situation. And then not only that, you've just got to freaking act on it. This is one of those situations where if you wait 5 seconds, like we talk about here, you'll never do it. You just got to act. When you start holding people accountable, they want to do better, they'll do it if they agree with you. And if you really, I guess, pull on their conscience, they will agree with you. If you go in there and you slam them and you apply the wrong hammer or the wrong level of a write-up to the situation and you misjudge the situation, you'll piss them off and they'll quit. If they know they screwed up, they'll admit to it. Even the biggest prima donnas, they'll admit to it. You just got to know how to do this. You got to judge the situation accurately. So I would encourage you. I hope that helps. I give you a little free version right there. I've got it broken down in the course, a lot more detail, but it's something you've got to do is hold your people accountable. One guy told me, I heard you like to fire everybody. I don't. It's not true at all. You've got to understand, though, that you have to hold people to a standard.
Can you speak to people who are afraid that their techs are going to leave them?
Can I speak to people that are afraid their techs are going to leave them? Techs want to be a part of something. Every employee wants to be a part of a company that's growing. So if you cast the vision, you get people excited, and then you hold them to the standard they agree to. Remember what Tony Robbins said, you get what you tolerate. So if you go say, guys, we're going to blow up, we're going to beat all these other shops in town, we're going to be the biggest and baddest shop in town, blah, 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 and I'm going to need more help, I'm going to need people to go be foreman in other locations, et cetera, and everybody's like, yeah, they get all pumped for the vision. And you go, but this is the deal. In the group setting, we've got to make sure that we're putting all the right parts in the cars, we're quoting the right labor times, we're not going to go and bump our times without asking the front, and you know what I'm talking about. Technician turns in, says they got to have more time for something. And you're supposed to be spot checking this stuff, and you don't spot check the hours. Those that are hourly don't usually have that issue, but then when it happens is the worst case happens, the opposite effect. They don't charge them anything, and they give away lots of diag, and they give away lots of other stuff. But whenever you start holding everybody accountable, then people start going, oh crap, I'm disappointing Aaron. I don't want to disappoint him. I'm disappointing Bob. I'm disappointing Sally. I don't want to disappoint them. I want to be a part of the vision. I want to be a part of the plan. But if you make them feel like they're not a part of something, and it's just about making you do better, you get rich, you get to enjoy everything, they don't get to get more money, they don't get to get a raise, then it's not going to work. Everybody's not cut out to be an entrepreneur, and that's fine, but everybody wants to make more. Everybody does. You should be willing to share that. Now, you can keep paying people $50K a year for the rest of their life, but if you keep doing that, they're not going to follow you. You've got to understand that people want to do more. And if they see you dangle carrots and they see you giving raises and they see more happening, it'll work. Right, TJ?
Right.
You don't have to agree like that.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Dang. Wow. Now, I'm only paying TJ $40,000 a year, but he just likes to be here because he just loves to be here.
I just like you, man.
He likes me. No, but you have to see that it's about what you believe in. They'll catch the wind of your vision and they'll follow you, and then you can bring discipline. If there's nothing they're reaching for with you, it's very hard to bring any type of discipline in. Because what am I doing this for? You're going to give me attitude? You're going to try to write me up? I'm out of here. But if all of a sudden there's something you're taking away, that carrot, that opportunity that's been with you that is not with any other shop in town, they don't want you to take it away. They don't want to say I'm out of here. They want to stay. And when you give them a chance to sit down, do a write-up, and they get to say their grievances, it brings breakthrough.
Hey, we got a question with Robert Crawford. You want to read that? It's on the screen.
Robert Crawford.
I'm not sure I understand.
Ready to sign up. $29.87 equals 5 payments. $297 plus 5 payments. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's trying to
Okay.
ask. Just
I
go
don't
back
know.
to your thing and
I don't
show
know.
them.
I don't know what you're at. Hold on, though. He's saying, ready to sign up. $2,987 equals 5 payments. $297 and $497. Oh, I
I thought you
think.
just answered.
Oh, he said, not a question. Want to sign up?
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, sorry, Robert. We're sitting here.
Go, Robert!
Yeah, Robert! Woo! And I don't know if anybody noticed the Get the Dew discount. Shopfixacademy.com/Mountain Dew. Now, some of you that may not know this, I got to give a shout out to Steve Snow for my sign he sent me today. Literally, I got this today. Mountain Dew was originally a mixer drink for Jack Daniels, which is brewed here in the amazing Lynchburg, Tennessee. So it was originally designed as a mixer for Jack Daniels, and I think more people use Jack and
I
Coke.
really don't think people care about that.
No, they do care.
Hey,
about
we got
that.
some questions here.
People
though.
do care about that,
They do.
TJ. They do care. It's Tennessee history.
What's the best sources to find techs?
Craigslist. Number one source is Craigslist. It's not about so much how well your ad's written. It's actually how little you write in your ad. It's also the timing that you place your ad. I'm not going to tell you how to write an ad. We have those in our course, but I will tell you this. You should be paying attention to the fact that most large cities, your ad is buried in 3 hours. So it's timing. When are you going to post the ad? Think about this. When do you post the ad? He's like,
like an escape
tell me,
game.
Aaron, please.
It's like
Tell
an
me.
escape
Oh, I just
game.
about fell on my stool.
Yeah, careful.
So every Friday, about 4 or 5 o'clock. Why do we do Fridays? Man, my job sucks. Look, I didn't make any money this week. I hate this place. I'm gonna go on Craigslist, see what's out there. Saturday mornings, hey, my job sucks. I hate this place. I'm gonna go drink it off tonight. And I wake up the next morning, place at about 8 a.m., 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Or Sunday night. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. And whenever they say that, you're like, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm going to go place an ad. I'm going to save you from your job hell that you're stuck in. I'm going to be there for you on Sunday evening when you go and you look for it. You place it there. Real simple.
Let's go to Colin. That's right, Colin.
Colin.
Probably didn't like me calling him Colin.
I'm not sure how to say your last name. Etienne or Etienne?
Colin.
I don't know. Colin.
Let's
Yes,
call him
Colin. Hi, Aaron. And he spelled my name Arron. It's Aaron. I hate to say it. But
we love it. Hey, Ron.
Hi, Aaron. I currently have 2 techs in the shop and myself running the sales counter in the business back end. I feel I'm ready to hire a service advisor because I'm all over the place. I bet you are. What is your advice on when you need to hire an advisor? So I would encourage you probably to hire an assistant that you can get for 30 to 40K, and I'd make them a parts specialist. I'd have them negotiate any type of parts from your high volume parts suppliers or find the best deal. They should be able to, if you remember on my P&L, where did I even put it? I gave it to them already. On the profit and loss statement, I said for 100 grand, you're spending 25,000 a month in parts. They might be able to get that down to 23,000, 22, or even 21,000. If you think about it, you don't give your daughter a credit card that she can spend with no limit. So why do we give our front counters that? And you're the one spending with no limit, and you're so stressed out and busy, you're just trying to find the part. You're not looking for the best deal. And I will say this. I've talked to a lot of parts manufacturers or parts resellers, and they have actually told me, Aaron, we would rather the client tell us, hey, your price is too high, can you match so-and-so, than lie to us and say, I'll call you back if I need it, and then go buy it from the competitor. So a lot of you that are afraid to negotiate, it's not like, hey, I'll give you 30. Will you take that and you want 60? It's not how it works. You're respectful about it, and you just say, hey, look, I found the same part for this much money. Can you match or beat it? Blah, blah, blah. I want to do business with you. And when you do that type of stuff, they save their money. Now, here's the catch. I mean, Colin, they'll save enough money to pay for themselves, so they end up being free. And now you're just focused on the selling and the building of the tickets. And the next thing you know, you have them helping you build tickets, and you're still just doing the selling and directing traffic with the technicians. Then before you know it, they're helping direct traffic, and then now you're just doing the selling. And then eventually, they're now learning to sell, and now you're not even doing that, and then you're bringing on another person to help them. But if you brought a full-fledged advisor on for 50 or 60K, it would burden the store with a lot more money. And if they can't sell and you hand it off the reins to selling, your revenue drops, your overhead goes up, you get zero net, and you get screwed. So my opinion would be to keep selling because you know what you're capable of, and hand off the busy side, ordering parts, dispatching parts to the technicians, and tracking everything. That's what I would do. Next.
Country Dubs is up there now.
Country Dubs. That's a great handle. My shop is two owner operators. We are both seasoned techs, but I spend most of my time up front because I'm the better conversationalist. I think we are ready to hire. The question is, should I hire a tech and stay up front, or hire someone up front so I can get back in the shop? I don't know your skill set. I don't know your partner's skill set. I don't know if one of you is an A tech, one of you is not. I'll just assume you're both really good. If I was you, I would probably stay up front and I would hire a B or C level technician. I wouldn't even hire a C. I'd hire a B level technician. A C level technician will slow down your partner and actually end up not producing any more work. So I'd hire a B level technician in that $20 to $25, $26 an hour range, depending on where you are in the country, and get some more hours of them. Have your partner doing the harder diagnostics and let them do most of the service work, the brakes, et cetera, and get the shop cranking out more revenue. You could hire them cheaper than you could probably hire a top-level advisor, which you would have to get that can do probably the volume you're doing. Unless you're a bad advisor. I don't know. You could be a horrible advisor and you're not great at selling, and even a low-level advisor would be better than you. This is where you got to self-assess and you got to make that call. David said, how do you approach a C-Tech that oversold his abilities and lacks experience? Oh, you just moved it.
No, that's right.
I know, but you still moved it.
I did move it a little.
You did move it a little, like
A little bit.
a foot.
David.
It lacks experience compared to what he said, but he said he has, well, then he said he would, but he still has potential. Surprise was also his lack of basic hand tools. I need to bring up that he has to invest in tools. David, just tell the truth. You know, I mean, what are you going to lose? A guy that's lying?
Communication.
Just go, yeah, it's just communication. David, go right up to him and say, listen, dude, you sold me a bill of goods. You don't got to say it like that. I would like to attend one of your 2-day classes. Should I purchase this package prior to attending the class? I'm not sure what 2-day
What
class
classes are you
you're
talking
talking about.
I want hackers.
Hackers, I will not be doing that until spring of next year in April 2020. So buy the course, and then if you buy the course, you'll be able to come to all of my little stuff like this, and I do these where I talk with you and answer questions specifically for you. I am speaking at Ratchet and Wrench this year. I'm speaking at ASA in Florida and Daytona Beach this year. And speaking a couple, I can't remember the other two. I'm speaking a couple more. Donald Lewis checked on Craigslist, and it was a $10 a day. $10 a day to run help wanted ad. Is this the area you recommend running that? No. I would run the ad in skilled trades. It'll probably run in most cities $25 to $35, and it will just get buried, and it will stay there for 30 days till it expires. But I would keep doing it every week. Sean said, what kind of training can I get a hold of for my techs to keep them up to date or even expand their knowledge?
Vision again.
Vision again, WorldPack, O'Reilly, AutoZone, and Napa all have some of the cheapest ones locally. You can get in for $40 to $50 per class. What does your parts matrix look like? On your really cheap stuff, typically, I don't want to say 60, 50% of your parts are going to be less than $100. You need to make sure everything below $100 cost has extreme markups. So I'll give you some examples. If it's around $1, it probably needs to be up to times 10. I'd say even up to $2 cost. Your parts matrix needs to be around times 10. I said that again, times 10. Some of you are times 4 in that little stuff. If you can't sell an O-ring for $20, you can't sell a light bulb for $19.87, it's just not going to fly. I mean, you got to be better at selling. That's where you make up your money, because when you go to sell an engine you pay $30,000 for, you can only sell it for $3,800. You got to make that money up on those little items. Who is the go-to person at Mud Lake to get shop fixed pricing? You're going to call and talk to Reed. His assistant's name is Austin. Austin Fowler is his assistant. Who is the both master certified VW techs? Oh, Country Dubs. It sounds like you're working on Volkswagens. You can make a lot of money. Make sure you're doing Audi and Volkswagen at least. But I would do exactly what I told you.
They're always broke.
They're always breaking. We know that.
Just like the rest. Don't be offended.
Second webinar money is tight. I signed up, joined. What does he mean? Second
webinar, money is tight. I signed up, joined.
Oh, okay. Well, Jose, good job. That's awesome. That's awesome. Joseph Cox, how do you deal with the onslaught of parts that are junk out of the box? Even brand name parts. We have switched to using WorldPack and other vendors that sell OE or similar products. But even then, stuff sometimes doesn't fit, don't work right, etc. Trying to claim the labor warranties is almost not worth the time. I agree. And we just sit and we just fix it and move on. I feel like I spend most of my time researching the parts to do a job so we can avoid comebacks and bad parts from local big name parts stores. All right, this is an awesome topic. And then I need to go back to selling again. So,
Cops for the win.
one of the reasons I have a parts specialist in every location is I need somebody that knows brands, knows what doesn't fit, what does fit. That's number one. Number two, you want to make sure that you're buying as much as possible OE factory parts. You all know the difference between original equipment and original equipment manufacturer, but OE or OEM, or OE is original equipment. Like that's, if Hella won the headlight bid for that particular year, they won, and that's the year on that 08 model car that's on that car. Or if Bear won the bid to put radiators in, 2012 model, I don't know, BMW or a Ford or whatever, that's Bear owns it, or Nissan, or whoever. AC Delco, they're the ones that are supplying the part for that particular year. And OEM is the original equipment manufacturer. I mean, they didn't do it that year, but at some point in the last 5-10 years, they made a radiator, they made a headlight, they made something for that car. So I say all that to say that when you start deviating and just getting the best brand or the brand that has the lifetime warranty, that's not what you need to do. You got to get a factory part. Dude, I spend with Worldpac I spent 98 or 97,000 last month. And then I don't know how much with all of the local dealerships and everybody else. So why I love Worldpac, and this is not a plug for them, but Worldpac seamlessly integrates, for example, with AllData, which is what I have a station in every bay. If you had to do it right, this is my opinion, every technician would have an IBM ThinkPad. I prefer ThinkPads because, one, they're super, super durable, and that little red rubber eraser button in the center of the keyboard with the greasy gloves, they can use that button, and sometimes they can't use the mouse pad. And those things keep ticking and keep taking lickings and just keep working, and they get dropped and they keep working and keep working. I said it backwards. Take a licking and keep on taking. And those ThinkPads, what I love about the ThinkPad is you can get them used, $300 on eBay, refurbished, etc. Put it in there. You load AllData. You load Worldpac. Even if you have a small Worldpac account and you use other suppliers, Worldpac's search catalog is so freaking fast. They could jump from, if you're in TechMetric or RO-Rider or Mitchell or Protractor or Shopware, I don't care which one you're in, you can literally jump in there, select the part you want, export it, it dumps right into it instantly. And what I love about it is that Worldpac, the way it integrates in with AllData and most of those other suppliers out there, you're able to get all the repair data in one spot. And those of you that don't want your technicians looking up parts, by the way, if your techs are flat rate, they're looking up their hours in AllData already. Why can't they not just look right there and get the part number, right click and copy it? I mean, come on, they're already checking their hours. They're right there. We believe in technicians looking up parts. And by the way, it actually helps technicians turn more hours because they don't go up front and have to jibber jabber and talk and explain everything they need. Now they get to go look at a color photo in Worldpac and just dump it straight to it. When you do this over and over and over, it speeds up the pace of the shop. It makes everything flow. And when it flows faster and faster and faster, everything comes together. You won't get all these bad parts because technicians are picking them out. If you're getting lots of bad parts out of the box, it's because you're probably not buying, honestly, from a quality supplier. Now, one of the reasons I like to buy original equipment parts, whether it be, and now AutoZone's carrying a lot of original equipment, European parts. Napa is, O'Reilly is, Advance is, because of them and CarQuest partnered up with Worldpac. All of them are. You need to understand that these suppliers are all trying to get to the original equipment stuff. They don't want refunds either. They don't want returns. Now, you can go to any supplier out there. And I got guys that use Worldpac's parts catalog, and they buy from an Advance. Or they buy from an O'Reilly. They buy from an AutoZone all day, or a Napa all day long, or a local parts supplier. They just want the catalog. It's very, very, very important that you find the right part that doesn't have a high return rate. Just call the salesman and go, hey, does this thing get returned all the time? And if they say, no, I haven't had but one back in 5 years, I'm going to order that part. Super simple, man. I promise you. Part specialists are worth their weight in gold, and they save you money. Just in that area alone, they pay for themselves. Probably need to do the sale, but do you have another question? Do you have an opinion on profit first? I love Mike McAllis. He's a personal friend. Yes, I like it. I think that it's a great first step. I do think there's a more advanced version, which would be a real profit and loss statement and a real balance sheet. But it is a great first step, and it really, really, really helps. And if you have a problem conceptualizing what your balance sheet and your P&L actually, I guess, how they integrate together, the profit accounts and the tax accounts and all the different accounts he instructs you to set up really bring the visual that you need to actually get your shop turned around. So I do like it for that. Now, there's still 14 of you left now. There's a couple hundred of you still on here. It's shocking. People are staying on this long. They don't got to take a tea break. Maybe they did. Maybe they're just coming back. I hope we're bringing value. Please let us know if this is valuable or if you'd wished that I had not drank Mountain Dew and I just was more boring and talked about normal stuff. Like, I don't know, how to do a proper interview. Again, the course, over 90 plus videos. They're going to be 7 to 18 minutes long. It's probably our longest. Most are probably 7 to 12, 7 to 14 minutes on specific topics. Negotiating leases, how to brand your store, how to market your store, how direct mail works, even radio ads, how to fire somebody, how to hire somebody, proper ways to interview, how to, it literally has everything in it. Accounting, balance sheets, profit and loss statements, processes, how to run cars to the shop, how to do inspections, who should be doing the inspections, etc. $7,000. $7,000 is what I originally sold this course for to the very first founding members that are in ShopFix. And they know that I sell it to everybody else for less. $7,000. And if you ever come to one of our meetings, you see one of those guys with the badge and it says founding member. That's one of those people. They paid $7,000. 7 additional success modules. Easily, honestly, they're worth more than $1,000. The Facebook group for $3,000. 6 live coaching calls. Everybody who's on this has told me, Aaron, you don't push these enough. The ability to get on here and ask you a specific question and talk it out face-to-face through a webinar, and there might be 40, 50, 60, 100 of you. It just depends on how many show up. But it's crazy how many people are shy and won't ask their question. It's usually about 10 or 15 that are more outspoken. But I'm sure that you guys are learning right now that are watching just from the questions from everybody else. This right here is where everybody says the money's at. They're like, Aaron, to keep coming to these specifically on these topics is worth its weight in gold. They all tell me, you have no idea how much this has changed my family, my life, just the motivation coming here every month. PDFs, and they're recorded. So if you miss them, you get to just go back and watch the recording. These PDFs are basically graphs and they're drawings, and it's got my little stick figures, and it's all laid out how our systems work and how you process tickets to the shop to move these tickets through your shop and outrun your overhead. Because remember, money loves speed. And if you go too long, you will lose cash. And then the most important thing of all, we all know why you're here. It's this crazy mug. It's all about the mug, isn't it, guys?
Yep.
Darn it, I'm wearing you down.
We don't have a mug. And we're a little frustrated about it.
Or a mug.
Actually, I have a mug. Femi got me a mug.
Femi did get you a mug?
I didn't get a mug.
You didn't get a mug? Femi, get these people mugs, Femi. So $1 gazillion. All of that is worth $17,510. It is. I'm not exaggerating as it's worth. And I'm going to tell you something. In the beginning, I had a hard time. This is what they call the stack. I had a hard time doing this. I was like, I feel like the ShamWow guy. I always joke about him, but I don't like doing this. But it's the truth. I've got to break it up and show you what this is, what it's worth. We're trying to help you. Right now, you can go to shopfixacademy.com. If you don't believe me, go look at the current full price. And this right here is what's on that site right now, $2,997 or 6 payments of $697, and it comes out to $4,200 right now. If you buy right now live while we're on here, we have a $200 bonus. But if not, you can buy by Friday at midnight, Central Standard Time, by the way, for $2,597, $2,600 one time right now you can buy it, which will save you $400. Or you can pay roughly $500 for 6 payments. You'll get it for $3,000 versus $4,200. You're saving $1,200. I mean, it's still a deal. But if you want the biggest deal of all, why not save $200? Do it right now. And if you're like, I don't know, my spouse may not be happy about this, go get her, go get him. Say, watch this crazy guy. I don't know what his deal is, but he's been drinking a lot of Mountain Dew, and something here I'm connecting with. So $2,397 one time. Dirt cheap, the cheapest we've ever sold it. You get all of this, 7,000, 1,000, 3,000, 6,510 gazillion dollars. For $17,510, you get it for $2,397. $2,400, dirt cheap. And here's what I'll do as well. You normally would do 6 payments of $497. We will make your first payment only $297. Dang, that's a deal. That's a deal. So
Donald doesn't drink coffee. Put some dew in it, Donald.
Donald doesn't drink coffee. And you said put some dew in it?
Yeah.
All right. So does anybody else have any other questions? We've gone 2 hours and 42 minutes. My bladder is doing a good job. Good job.
You just talked.
I just told my bladder, good job.
Good job.
Oh, man. Whew.
Way to go.
It's been working hard. And Dakota Rob said, so worth it. Thank you, Dakota Rob. So the due discount is disappearing. That's true. The due discount's about to come to an end, and you only get it while you're here. So I want to make sure everybody understands something. You are the one that makes the decision. I'm going to get serious for a second. You're the one that makes the decision and decides you're going to get breakthrough. You're the one that decides you're going to go to the next level. You're the one that decides, I'm done doing this. I'm done not getting breakthrough. I'm done circling the drain. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Guys, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You don't like it, call us up. Call us up. Give your money back. Call us up. Shoot, you go 31 days, I'm not going to freak out. I don't care. I don't need your money. I'll give you your money back. Asking the members on here if we're stand-up people. We're normal guys just like you. All of us are away from our families. We all got wives and kids all at home waiting on us to get home. And we're all up here hanging out with you. We're just like you. We all, Canadians even get a mug. We're up here hanging out because we want to make a difference. And it's a whole heck of a lot cheaper to do this than it is to sign up for some big, massive coaching program. And let's be real. Some of you right now, this $297 gets you in the door, and there has never been something that would get you in the door of training at this level for that little amount of money. And this is top-notch freaking stuff. I mean, amazing stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. And I know that because I've been everywhere else. I've seen a lot of different things out there. Juan.
I love that instructors are getting on here. It's awesome.
Juan says, I'm an instructor. I can't talk. I'm tired. I'm sorry, Juan. I'm an instructor that has a shop in Chicago that trains people in auto repair and have students that work on cars with our techs to give them real world experience. Well, this program worked for me since cars in my shop take a little bit longer to fix because students are training on them. It just depends. If you're trying to teach people how to work on a car, no, I don't teach you how to work on a car. I teach you the systems of how to work on a car profitably and how to manage the business. I have body shops buying our program, transmission shops buying our program, all detail shops buying our program. I don't know why, and they all say it applies. They all love it. And that's up to you. If you're managing your own finances for this business and you own this business, just the financial part of the course alone will make you money. I mean, it's no question, Juan. I mean, absolutely no question. If I had had this, I mean, oh my gosh, those early years would have been so much better. I mean, they were so painful. But if I'd had this, I mean, the reason we put this together is I literally had this guy chasing me, asking me. I was like, what do I wish I had known? And that's how we built it. That's how we built it, Juan. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to make all the difference in the world if you decide that you want to take charge of your life, you want to take charge of your business, and you want to give more to your people. Now, it's got all kinds of motivational videos in there. Module 10, 11, and 12 are all just personal development. It's kind of like the dessert, and a lot of people just skip to that, and they email me, Facebook message me, and they're like, oh my gosh, this one video has changed my life. I've never heard it said the way you just said it. You broke it down in such a way. And it's because people tell me I'm in their head. I'm not in your head. I'm just like you. That's the difference. I'm like you. We're the same. I've been where you're at. No different. I'm not an instructor that's never owned a shop. I'm not an instructor that's only been on the front counter, never been a technician. I'm not an instructor that only worked for somebody else. I've done it. My name was on the door. I've done it. Charles says, want to sign up tonight with the due discount, but company credit card is at the shop. Well, hey,
Femi answered it.
can I call on the card number in the morning? Charles Gaiman or something. Email Femi at shopfixacademy.com. I don't know if I trust Charles. Let's see.
Seems like a loophole.
Seems like, yeah, it's a loophole.
Tonight, buddy.
Yeah, it's a loophole.
We
I
got
don't
to
know.
let you. We got to let everyone else.
We gotta figure this out. Femi,
You better talk nice to Femi.
you,
That's all I gotta
you're gonna
say.
have to talk Femi. She's a hard nose. I don't know. If I had this 15 years ago, I would have made easier 10 to 15 million more than I have. I did the numbers and it made me sick. Sign up.
Who was that?
Steve Snow. Steve, this is one of the dues you sent me from Amazon.
Look at that.
You might even get a diet due discount. So I want to make
Pour one
sure.
out for Steve.
Do what?
I said pour one out for Steve.
So I want to hit something for everybody out there. I got to a point in my business when all the stress piled up. I had decided not to file bankruptcy and to fight my way out because I didn't want to screw the families that were involved. When you're a small business and you file bankruptcy, you're not like a large business that can close and open the next day and have a team of lawyers. When you're a small business, they make you close for anywhere from 1 day to sometimes 2 weeks, depending on how busy the courts are. And I didn't have the money to hire all those attorneys because I had saddled my businesses with the debt and scrounged up everything I could just to survive. Now, the problem is, in that survival period, all those tentacles of fear got into my head. It messed me up. Couldn't make clear decisions, couldn't make proper directional type strategies, and found myself going down paths that I shouldn't have gone down, and which made the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Until one day, I couldn't make payroll, and the last bit of savings I had, which was $75,014 and some type of pennies. I don't remember. It was $14 and something. One day I logged on to the bank account. I clicked the 75,000. I dragged the mouse over and then I hit enter. Then it came up with the submit button to finalize it and I hit submit. My wife got on the bank account. I think the next day, saw it, didn't tell her, thought I could put it back. I never put it back. Well, I did eventually, but I didn't put it back like in a short amount of time. In the foreseeable future, it took years. And when I got home, my wife had some words to say to me. Crushed me pretty bad. Basically told me that I had disappointed her, that I'd failed her and our family, that our business had never stopped taking from us, which wasn't true, but that was her reality. This was in 2012, right after, late 2012. I made more money in 2012 than I ever made, and I lost it all right at the end of the year, right at the end. This guy stole from me in November. And I had just, and just, you know, you're like, where did all that money go? I had just built this massive house on 21 acres. I had just opened up my third location. I had just dumped a bunch of money into it and also just bought 32 loaner cars. So I'd just been spending money like, it was the worst timing to be stolen from. And when all that happened and everything hit the ceiling and everything went wrong, or when all the balls dropped and hit the ground and everything was falling apart, I was devastated because everybody I was going to disappoint. And I was devastated at the fact that I had taken my entire life, imported into this business, and there was nothing left. And I was about to be over. Called all my mentors, all my heroes, and every single one of them said, file, file, file. Be humble and just file. There's no way out. My perseverance and my pride probably got the best of me, but I think it's what I had to go through, and it broke me. My biggest strength is I'm perseverant. I won't give up when you'll give up. When you throw in the towel, I'll keep going. When you're hungry, I'll keep working through lunch. I'll work through dinner. I'll starve myself. I will keep pushing when everybody else stops. Every one of you, I will outwork you. I will show up early. I will stay late. I am committed to it. And you better have the same attitude towards me. And that's the attitude I had. The problem was when that crap was going on with car sales, I could have stopped it earlier. I look back and I could have stopped it several times. Could have. But because of my perseverance, because I thought I could crack the code and get it working and get it to pay back what this guy had stolen, it just continued to snowball and get worse and worse. So I'm just in light of transparency here, I want to make sure that everybody understands I never said I was going to be a coach. I never saw this coming. I used to always say, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this or I can't believe they're doing that. I wish somebody would do it better. But I never thought I was going to be doing it better. And then when it landed in my lap, I always thought it'd be, okay, we'll do this for a few people. Maybe a couple, maybe 20. I never thought it would be as many as it is now. Hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds. Never saw it coming. Never. Never thought we'd blow up this fast. Never thought they would be such an attraction to it. And that our masterminds would have blown up like they have. I didn't see it coming. But everything I went through in life prepared me for this moment. And everything you've been through in your life has prepared you for this moment. So I want to remind you of something. You are the sum today of every decision you have made until this point. If you don't like the sum, then you need to undo the decisions. I was making bad decisions because I was living in fear. If you can get a coach in a box, if you can get something that can come alongside of you for very, very cheap and offer you advice that you would have to pay thousands of dollars and fly all over the country and take a year, 2, 3 years to get into your head, and you could get it into your head in the course of a month. This course is about 17 and a half hours of content, roughly, with all the bonuses and everything. If you could get all that into your head in a month, and don't gorge yourself, you'll start to forget things. You got to make sure you learn it and apply it. It will change your life. But let me remind you, it did not come for free. Somebody paid the price to get the knowledge you're getting. And that was my family. I paid that price. My kids paid that price. I still remember going and praying for my son, and he had his loft, and I'd go up to the top of his loft, and get up there, and he'd turn, put his feet on the steps, and I'd go, all right, I'm going to pray for you, buddy. I prayed for him every night. He'd say, Daddy? I'd go, yeah. He was 10 years old, and he said, do we have enough money? No, he was 8 years old. He said, do we have enough money, or did we get enough money today to pay the bills? I was just like, oh, my gosh. He was overhearing me, coming home in the kitchen, talking to my wife. And those of you that don't think your kids are paying attention, you're crazy. They're listening to everything. And I was done at that point. And I got a book. I've told a lot of people the story. The book that brought breakthrough for me and got me pissed off, and I changed, and I decided to finally be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I knew I was smart enough to figure it out, and I came up with some new formulas to run my business and start slowly turning things around and decide not to give up, because I was just going down, slowly going down. I found this book called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And that book said, don't take the easy way out. There's no easy way out. Take the right way out. Go down the right path. Go down the path that is the one that has the resistance, and push through it. Those of you right now that have given up, that have maybe even big operations, you're just coasting, and you think, oh, I've hit it. I'm fat and happy on the mountaintop. I've got it. There's still more freaking potential in you. You're still supposed to be a bigger deal in your town. You're supposed to be a commissioner, a mayor. You're supposed to be some type of influencer. You're supposed to be leading the way and changing your town, and you're not. You could be way more wealthy. You could be way richer. You could be doing way more. You don't get rich to get rich. You get rich to provide jobs for your community, to provide money for your local church, all the local charities, to help put the people in power in the office that you want to see, to influence the outcome of what you want to see in this world. And I'm telling you, you can decide to dig deep. And when I read that book, I closed the chapter, and I got this revelation. I started stomping around the bed in my wife's master bedroom, our master bedroom. I started yelling at my wife, and she's reading her book. She puts it down. I was like, I'm sick of this. We're going to do this. I'm going to break through. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. And the mathematical formulas that I teach, that I figured out back then, that I even figured out even more, that I teach even in the mastermind. Like, we've got levels in each thing that we teach, like in our course, and then above that in Driving Growth Turbo, then up in our mastermind, etc. All that stuff that we've got came from being broken. It came from being destroyed. From the day I told my wife, she told me that I failed her, I went in the garage, I fell on my knees, and I bawled my eyes out because I had failed my family. I'm just being very transparent. Every one of you can decide right here, right now, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something different. The price is right there. And you get to get it for way less than my family paid for it. Whew. I didn't plan on saying all that. This is helpful for one-man shop with 2 bays. Abso-freaking-lutely. Will not make a difference. Can you scoot it over? I can't see all of it, TJ. To the right. My right.
I'm working on it. So you're on the do. I'm not.
TJ's exhausted. I'm like, let's go. No, it's fine. On the left, go back where it was. Stop moving around. On another Driving Profit page on Facebook, and they done a deal like yours shortly after I signed up for ShopFix, told them I would not do 2 at one time. They told me to get a refund from you and go to them, LOL. trying to understand what he's saying.
He's just saying he was on another thing. He said, get a refund, come to us.
Some other company wants you to come work with them, and they don't want you to work with me.
Charles working the system.
Charles is working the system. That's awesome. Signed up, excited for this journey with you all. Us too, Kyle. That's awesome. Brad just said, you sold me. I'm in. I just signed up. Excited. Shout out to Mike, your guy in Indiana, for calling me back and giving me the push. Dude, that's awesome. Thanks, Mike. Anonymous attendee, I hope it's worth it. Well, I do too. It is worth it. I hope this works out for everybody. Well, dang. Hold on, TJ. Let me read. There's something I wanted to read over here. John Kayer said, there isn't a greater group of people with more knowledge, more importantly, more character, more genuine concern for people in this industry than the group at ShopFix. This course has not only changed your shop, but if you're open, sincere, and willing to put in the work, it will literally change you as a person. There isn't an easier decision to make. Sign up and don't look back. So John is in our mastermind, and I did a missions trip with my family and invited some of our mastermind members to come with us. John came with us, and John went with me down to Mexico to a pastor I've been supporting for years. And John went down there, and we redid this guy's entire house, and we spent a week together. So John's an awesome dude. David said, where can we read on the story of this guy stealing? Heard references to it in the past, but would be interested in the entire story. You know, I don't know that I ever wrote out the whole thing. I was on the news. It's the largest theft in Murfreesboro's history. It was the second or first. When it was originally reported, it was just reported as north of 250,000. The guy actually stole 675. I borrowed $500,000 to try to save it. Then spent another $500,000 trying to, or not another $500,000, another roughly 200K just trying to shut the stupid thing down afterwards. But I think they only reported that it was above that, and that was on the news. It was on TV. But you know, I don't know how they did it. But yeah, turning a 1-inch thick book to the TBI, Tennessee Highway Patrol, Murfreesboro Police Department. The IRS showed up in my office because I would have paid taxes on that profit. And ironically, they told me, this is crazy, that it was so complicated that a normal jury wouldn't understand it. They needed me to dumb it down. And I had to tell them, I've got to get about saving my business. I'll come back to you. I have 5 years to prosecute him from when I turned it in. I've already gone past that. I can't even prosecute the guy. I found out later that the guy worked for another dealer with an owner that I knew. I knew about 7 owners here in the area. And this particular one that he worked for, he stole $75,000 from them. And when he told me I was hiring him away, he actually was being fired. I wasn't hiring him away. He needed a job, and I just didn't know it at the time. So I got sold a bill of goods. I never wrote it out, David. In the mastermind groups, I get real. There's a lot more to this. It's just painful for me to talk about it. I usually get teared up. I don't like to get in all that detail, especially with hundreds of people I don't really know yet. So maybe in person I'll feel a bit more comfortable, but not so much on here. I have no idea. I might have competition watching me. Who knows? I probably do. They're all they're freaking out because I'm disrupting the market right now with the automotive training industry. And it's just because I think it's been done wrong for so long. I think we have one more. That's why that red thing scroll down. Or is that it?
Yeah, that's, sorry, can't use the mouse over here.
Where can we read? Oh, he said, oh yeah, they do. My son hears me. I have to watch what I say. Reading it now. Yeah, Sal, they do. Joseph said, is there someone I can talk tomorrow and ask some questions, but I'd rather not ask here regarding the program? I mean, yeah, but the discount will be over. I will tell you this, Joseph, you can just ask it here. I'm really an open book. I don't care. And our members will jump in here and answer it. We got members that are even watching. David said, all good. Just heard you talking about it often. Thanks, brother. So I'm going to go over this again. One more time. I've gone 3 hours without taking a potty break. Holy shnikes. That's crazy. This course.
I feel like Superman.
I am like Superman right now, or super bladder. That's what I've got going on. This course, it's about, I can't remember if it's 94 or 95 videos. It's a lot. It's a lot. 17 and a half hours of content. I originally sold this course for $7,000. It honestly is worth $20,000 or more. It's just a mind-blowing course. I wish it was available for me. It has literally everything in it. And it's a trainer in a box, and it's broken up by topics, so you can chase that one topic when you need to learn about that one thing. So it's info on demand. You don't have to fly somewhere, get on some course, webinar where they talk about a bunch of other stuff before you get to the thing you need. You need one specific thing, go right to that title. 7 additional success modules, all in personal development, because if you fix the owner, you ultimately fix the shop. A lot of the information to fix your situations inside of you right now. You just got to believe it and go for it. Also, I want to make sure that you guys understand the Facebook group. It's huge. You can go in there and get camaraderie from other people and understand what's going on. Get the recordings from the 6 live coaching calls. If you watched one and you want to hear more about a particular topic where I answered your question and you just need to rehear it again, those recordings are saved and in there for you. The PDFs, I mean, holy cow. You can get word pictures and post them all over your shop. Get your team excited and get them fired up. We are here for everybody in your team, not just you. You don't got to be the bad guy. You let me be the bad guy, and I get all passionate, and I yell on the camera, and I make it funny, and I'm very excited, and I'm all over the place just like this whenever I do those courses for your guys. And then, oh my gosh, the mug. People, there's blood in the streets over this mug.
Blood in the streets.
It's crazy. People love this mug. I don't know why. One time, Femi, we had a guy buy this in New Zealand, and she said, do you want me to ship this mug to New Zealand? This is a $10 mug that we're going to pay $68 to ship this. I said, ship it. And we shipped him the mug, and then he turned around and bought more from us. Total, $17,510. $17,510. All for $2,397 one time. Or for $297, because on the first payment, I'll give you a deal. Knock $200 off the price right now if you buy it while I'm live, or the first payment that normally would have been $497, we're knocking $200 off and it'll be $297. If you decide to pass, because you want to think about it, which you can, it ends by tomorrow at midnight. Typically what ends up happening is the total sales that we get, half of you will buy now and half of you will buy by Friday at midnight. So what will end up happening is we'll have a blow up of sales tomorrow because they'll go, oh my gosh, it's about to expire, and they'll go run and jump and buy it. But you could have just bought it now for even a bigger discount. I hate that you wait and you do that. And people will go, well, Aaron, why do you do that? That's trickery in marketing. Why do you do that? And I go, well, why do you do discounts on oil changes? It gets people to get off their butt and do something for once. That's why I do it. It's just that simple. You do the same thing. It's the exact same thing I teach in our course when it comes to doing offers, any type of irresistible offer. I'm literally teaching you how to do marketing in your own business with the marketing I'm doing here. $497 for 6 payments. This thing is normally sold for $2,997, or 6 payments for $697, which comes to $4,200. You get here roughly 500 times 6 for $3,000. Save $1,200. It's huge. If you buy it by midnight tomorrow night, or $25.97, and then you end up saving $500 or $400 if you buy it right now, or versus the payment plan, even more. But the biggest deal, guys, right now, you can save on that first payment, get $200 off, or buy it one time. This is the cheapest, period.
How long do you get to keep the videos?
How long do you get to keep the course? Forever.
Forever.
Or until the interwebs fail. And if that happens, there's a zombie apocalypse and we got bigger problems, folks.
That's right.
That's right. Take all the lessons from Walking Dead and figure out how to fight your way out of it.
There you go.
All right, we signed up. How do we get access to the Facebook page? Megan, when you sign up, Femi, the lovely Femi, will track you down and she will let you know how to do that. You're going to get a welcome email. When you sign up, you get an email sent to you and it has all the stuff in there with all the instructions. You'll set up your password. Make sure you set the password with the same email you signed up with. If you decide to use a different email account, that messes up the sign up. We've noticed that.
And Femi probably is the loveliest one here.
Yes, Femi by far is more lovely than we are. We're not lovely. Oscar said, I've been with ATI and all they care about is the money you pay them. I believe you. Oh, you just moved. I believe you, Aaron, and love your passion. Thanks. P.S. Just signed up. Thanks, Oscar. I've heard great things about ATI. I know they're good guys over there. I don't want to talk bad about anybody. So maybe you had a bad experience with one coach. I'm not sure. I will tell you this. There's nobody teaching what we were teaching because they literally all say that I'm wrong. And, I know they do have some good stuff, but a lot of the companies out there literally preach the exact opposite of what we teach. And so we are able to get massive. I've got, just to give you ideas, we have a contest for our mastermind members. We are giving away a car, a BMW M235 convertible at the end of this month with 5,000 cash. The shop, grew the most in 1 year. This Mountain Dew's bubbling up. So we're giving away a car. I don't know of another training company giving away a car. I think this year, I was talking to a member and he was like, how much money? He's like, I think there's probably 150, 200 million in increased sales among all of the members and all the different mastermind groups. And I was like, I don't know. he's like started, he's breaking it down, estimating it because it's record month. People are having all this stuff, that's happening. Some shop owners that don't want to change quickly, they don't. You may watch this stuff, you may buy it, not do anything with it. That's the worst. That's the worst. As soon as you buy it, start watching, get freaking excited, get pumped up. You gotta go for it. Jason Rousseau, I'll stop. Just do it. Well worth every penny. Craig says, I would buy tonight, but I have to borrow the money. Hopefully tomorrow by midnight. Oh man, Craig, I hate you having to borrow the money. I'm sorry, dude. If you could do it this way and just come up with $297, I'm the bank. I'd rather you do that. Femi, to all panelists and attendees, the Iron Bladder discount. Oh my gosh. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it.
She needs to do stand up.
Yeah, she said, why? Thank you. Patrick Murray said, do the right thing and buy this. It will change your life. Patrick is a stud. If y'all don't know Patrick, his photos are all over Facebook and all over the internet. Some of you Google like beautiful shop. It's his shop that comes up. You don't even know it. It's his professional photos. This dude's running a $200K a month shop. He's crushing it. He's a big dog. He's making, he's just making it happen. This guy's printing money over there. He's super smart.
Mason's just
Mason,
up down here.
Tell Craig I got him. Holy crap. So I don't know who Mason Million D is.
That's Mason Bragg.
Oh, it's Mason Bragg?
Million D.
Million D.
$1 million man.
$1 million man. So Mason's one of our members. Mason, you don't have to do that. If you want to track down.
That's between you two.
That's between you two. You can track down Craig Bevel. I've seen Craig and Shop Hackers. You two could message each other. He said, I'm serious. Wow. Mason's a good dude. Mason is a good dude. Man. That kind of tears me up. Wow. So, damn.
I'm crying too.
You're crying. Why are you crying? We're all crying.
All right, get off the camera.
Wow. Mm.
We'll be
guys.
back with these messages.
Oh, no. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Man. Dang. Well, there you go. Spell his name. Thanks. That tells you something. If we have members that have gone through our stuff, have their own lives changed, and Mason, I'm super proud of you, dude. Mason has blown his shop up. Got a diesel shop down there in Florida on the coast, literally like half a block from the ocean, crushing it down in Gulf Breeze. And he's willing to pay for somebody else and loan him money.
Dang, that's good. Man.
Wow. And I won't steal your, what's the term I'm looking for? I won't steal your blessing. That's your blessing. So I think, Mason, that would be the best. Femi, if you could help them too, get it worked out. Wow. That's crazy. Jerry, what comes next after the course? I'll tell you just a second, Jerry. And thanks, Aaron. Great stuff as usual. I'm giving it a shot. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Greg. Okay, Jerry. We have Driving Growth Turbo. We have had so many requests for our mastermind that is not even advertised that we try to control quality. So the next step is going to be a hybrid of Driving Growth Turbo and then coming into the mastermind and getting access to the turbo section of the course. When you watch the course, you will see systems in the background and different things that aren't even in the course. You're gonna be like, what's that? What's that? Why is he talking about that? You're gonna see all these bonuses as we shoot videos doing tours in our shops and everything, and you're gonna be like, what? And that stuff will cause excitement. And then once you master those things, then we'll make it available. We just had so many people that are trying to get into our mastermind that don't even have this stuff down. We need to see people show self-discipline that they can work their way through the course and learn without even having a coach before we can even make the mastermind / coaching even available. And then that'll be quasi with Driving Growth Turbo, which we're leaning towards starting to give that away for free when people go to the next level, which is the mastermind. Wow.
Man, we got some good members, man.
We have some amazing members. I did not see that coming, Mason. You just rocked my world. Whew. Dang. So.
Mason, I need a four-wheeler.
I need a four-wheeler, Mason.
Wes is working on
Woo.
I'm kidding.
I don't need to go into any more teaching. I still can't believe how many people are here watching. I mean, you guys are hardcore. ShopFixAcademy.com. Our full price is this. You can get all of this, all of it, for that. Right now. I'm about to go off the air. My bladder's starting to talk to me. $297 right now is the cheapest startup cost if you just have no money. You can probably squeeze that. Probably got a credit card from mom or dad. You probably got something like, why are you calling me asking for $297? She wrote due discount about to end. $23.97 is the cheapest one time you can get. That's the cheapest total cost. But if you're just a startup and you're trying to get going, this gives you 30 days before your next payment of $497. And this $297 right here, I mean, you'll make that money plus way more in the first 2-3 weeks. I mean, it'll be a no-brainer. If you got to take your time to figure stuff out by tomorrow at midnight, and I'm sure a bunch of people weren't able to watch this or jumped on late, you want to see it from beginning to end, you're going to watch this in recording or listen to it in recording, you'll be able to sign up by Friday at midnight. $2,597. I will tell you, I better finish this. $497 at 6 payments, which come out to about $3,000, which is still going to end up being when it's listed at full price without any finance charge. But I want to tell you this part real quick. We have a free Facebook page, if you don't know about it, called Shop Hackers. You can search out Shop Hackers or just go to our Facebook page, ShopFix Academy. And when you go to the ShopFix Academy, request to join the group, and then our team will then review. You have to answer those questions, prove the owner shop with your website, etc. And if you are the owner of a repair shop, we will then let you into that group. There's over, I don't know, 2,200. I think there's 20.
Link in there.
I think there's 20. There you go. There's the Facebook group.
She's on it.
Femi is on it. There's 2,300 members in that Facebook group. You can jump in and join. It's insane how much free information is in there. I mean, it's absolutely the best free Facebook group out there, period, bar none. I'm a member of a bunch of them. I'm sorry, guys. I got to be biased, but it's the best, period. It is the absolute best. So the information is top notch, but not only that, it's just a lot of good people and people that are even in with other coaching programs, and they just want somewhere they can hang out. It's a positive environment that really brings the goods. And I jump in there and do free stuff in there. I ramble on and yell driving in my car and, videos every now and then. And then other members are they're shooting videos of their shops and telling stories. It's just a great place to hang out. So I'd encourage you to go check that out. There'll be replays in there saying this is, the link, hurry up, join it, watch, et cetera, et cetera. Thanks, Aaron and the crew. See you in 2 weeks at the Mastermind. David, so happy you did join just recently. I'm excited to see you. Oscar said, are you speaking in Philadelphia for ASA in October 12th? Actually, they asked me last year, and I wasn't. If this is the one I was thinking of, it was in a small town outside of Philly, actually, if it's the one I'm thinking of. And I'm bottom line, no, I'm not. And they asked me again this year, and I didn't have any relationship with them, and it was against another date that I had. And I told them, what I was going to, I think I needed travel and a couple $1,000, remember what it was. And I'm very transparent about it. I've got so many members I'm helping. If I'm going to go somewhere else, I've got to be paid for my time to be able to do it. And they couldn't. So the only places I go speak for free are where my members currently are, have a connection, and tell me this is a good place to speak. Otherwise, I just don't go. I just
We're going to Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to speak at ASA Florida in Daytona Beach, but I have a member there who's got that connection. I have relationships with everybody over at Vision. I have relationships with everybody at Ratchet and Wrench and a bunch of the others, but I go where I have a relationship. That's where I go. So no, I don't, Oscar, I'm sorry. Been thinking about the Florida one. Awesome. Yeah, I'll be there. I speak, I think, all day. They're working me like a rented mule. I'm speaking all day. And yeah, it'll be fun. So you ought to go down to Daytona.
So let's give these guys one last thing to think about.
Okay.
Just end it with what do they need to do with the information you just gave them, aside from just the stuff that you taught on.
Okay. So we've covered all the
Lots of
sales
encouraging
stuff. We're done. Your destiny right now has nothing to do with your past. Your presence has to do with your past, or your present has to do with your past, because all of your past decisions have gotten you to this point. But you could make a new decision today that would give you a new future and change course. Your life is going in a certain direction right now. And you can take coaching and training and decide that you're worth it and invest in yourself. And you can actually change course. And you may not feel different in a week. You may not feel different in 2 or even 4 or even 6. But in a year, you'll be much farther than you thought. And in 2 years, you won't even recognize yourself. And in 5 years, you'll say, if it wasn't for that crazy Aaron and that long-ass webinar that I couldn't leave and I stayed glued to the TV watching or laptop or whatever, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I know for a lot of you, I am not the guy that's going to teach you something. It might be another member. I might just be the catalyst that gets you to think about it, and that's okay. If I'm here just to motivate you to consider doing something different. You've been doing what you've been doing, that's gotten you where you are today. What if you did something different? You're scared to try something new. What you've been doing has given you what you have. And a life that's familiar is a life that's not changing and growing. If you want to grow, you have to go into the world of unfamiliarity. That means things are going to feel weird. That means it's going to feel strange. That means it's going to be uncomfortable. And so when it's uncomfortable for you to be rushed to make a decision and you say, I never make decisions like this. I don't want to make a decision like this. Why is he making me make a decision like this? That must mean he's slimy. It must mean he's this, he's that. No, I know what happens. Some of you will get off of this and you're going to have a kid that's crying that has a fever. Some of you are going to get off of this and you're going to get in a fight with a spouse possibly because you are spending money and they just think I'm another snake oil salesman. Why are you doing this? We're not. We're different. I'm a shop owner just like you. I'm real. I'm extremely transparent. And the hundreds of past clients that we've got, literally hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds, is proof. Go to our website. You just float on our website. Names pop up of all the people that have bought all over the country, all over Canada, Alaska, Hawaii, Australia, New Zealand, England. I mean, all over. Ireland, all buying our stuff. I'm just here to tell you, you can choose to change your life and go in a new direction. But the moment you make the choice, it will feel strange. It will feel different. You're literally going to feel like you're manipulating your destiny. And so again, your past doesn't make your destiny. Your past made your present moment today because all your past decisions got you to this point. Your future, your destiny, where you're going to end up is decided from this moment on. It's not all the past plus the future. No, it's here. A lot of people go, Aaron, I've got too much debt. I can't overcome it. Not true. Aaron, I've got too many disabilities. I got too small of a town. Not true. You look at everybody that's blown up and grown. Truett Cathy, he blew up Chick-fil-A. His first restaurant that he opened up, the Dwarf House there in Atlanta, opens up the second restaurant. They have to close it down. It fails. Opens up the second restaurant again. It ends up burning down. His brother's landing in a small plane the two of them own right in front of him, crashes on the runway and dies and burns right there in front of him. He opens his first restaurant, first real Chick-fil-A in a mall, invents the food court there in Atlanta. And everybody says, nobody wants to eat food in a mall. Blows up. Then they said, we can't open up a Chick-fil-A in a standalone building. There's not enough people that want just chicken. And then they kept trying to decide how they were going to do things. They weren't sure. And the market continued to surprise them. And then everywhere they opened up stores, those drive-thrus just kept getting backed up crazier and crazier and crazier. And then before you knew it, they were all over the country. Colonel Sanders, not until he's in his, 60s when he got going. All these guys, there's no reason why today can't set your future up for the rest of your life. Decide today. Decide right now. Stop waiting. Stop dilly-dallying. Because as soon as I stop and they hit the end button, the live is gone. It just is. And you may say, Aaron, I can't believe it. You should at least go till midnight tonight. No. We've proven that this works. We've tried it. We know what happens to the human psyche. More people will do this if we do this and if we have some other different offer that ends till tonight, because life will happen. And we're glad that we're doing this because we're actually delivering life-changing information. This stuff here is going to help you and blow you up and change your life. It's going to work. It does every time. All right, so Steve Snow, drink the Kool-Aid. That's one way to put it. I think that's it.
Yep.
Are we done?
That's it. We're done.
So I want to give special thanks to Steve Snow for sending me my official Mountain Dew sign. It's, we got it all janky taped to the wall here. For Mason Bragg, who so generously just decided right there live on the spot to spot Craig Bevel. I mean, that's huge. Wow, huge.
Craig Bevel better.
Yeah, Craig Bevel. Yeah, you better kick some ass. You got a guy stepping out on the limb for you. It's time for you to show the world what you got. And special thanks to AllData. A lot of you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for AllData. They put this out there. They found out about me and what we were doing. They believe in what we're doing. They believe in this unorthodox approach of transparency and bringing the real deal. In fact, so much so they have me coming out to speak to their sales team, their national sales conference, coming up here at the end of the month. So I'm going to go help them out in California here in a few weeks. But I love what they're doing. I love that they're giving us the proper information to fix the car right the first time and to keep our clients safe. So they can go to the births of their children, to weddings, to funerals, to graduations, to all the important things in life that we help people do. And I think it's a big deal what they're doing. So thank your AllData rep when they come by. That they put this together and got this quality training out there in front of you. This is a big deal, and they didn't have to do it. So thanks, guys. I appreciate all you're doing over there. And I'm a customer, and I've been a customer for probably 15, 16 years. So it's a big deal. Everybody else out there, thank you for all the clients that jumped on, that wanted to support and encourage others. Thank you for all the questions and all the transparency from everybody else and all the humility from everybody involved. We appreciate you. With that, we're going to sign off. Craig said deal. All right, guys, we're out. Over and out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Love you. You didn't have to be here, but we went 3 hours and 23 minutes, no break. We crushed it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.